Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Sunex, and with me today, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
That's me.
That is you. So before we get into the show today, let me go over some housekeeping real quick. If you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment so we can juice the algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible. We want everyone watching the show. And also, we usually try to have this show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys do enjoy our content over here, you should go check us out on our other podcast, the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. And we host that show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Very good.
That's it. I didn't mess up this time, Grumpy. Look at that. Look at that. Improvement. So we had three games.
Anyway.
What?
You did the best you could.
I did. We had, I think, 3 games since our last show, right, Grumpy?
I'm checking to see if it was 3 or 4. Let me see the date here.
I think it was 3 games. The Colorado game, I think, was...
No, the Colorado game was also...
okay. It was part of it as well. Okay.
I didn't see the Colorado game. So
I did not see it either. But
I can't
again,
comment on that.
I think we talked about it a little bit on our other show. And it's the same thing that I had referenced, I think, last episode. We win games we shouldn't win.
Yeah, like I said, I was babysitting that night, so I didn't get to see it. I thought I DVR'd it, but I don't think it was on. Regardless, it did not DVR. So I did not get to see that. Score was 6-3.
Yep.
I was notified by a friend of the show that the Islanders, it was a Sorokin game. It was, and honestly, that's what you've seen. The goaltending's been really, really good for the Islanders.
I was going to say, it seems like we've had a couple of Sorokin games the last few, especially my take on the Tampa Bay game was a Sorokin game. Absolutely kept us in that one. Without him, we don't win.
And the same thing last night against Vegas. Yep. I guess, like I said, I'm not going to speak to the Colorado game because I did not see it, so I cannot comment on it.
Yeah.
But the Islanders were thoroughly outclassed against Tampa, against Florida, and against Vegas, but they got 4 points.
Yep.
And I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. Can they continue winning like this long term? No. Their schedule is absolutely going to lighten up. I mean, because they played some tough teams, been outplayed in all the games against tougher teams, but have come away with a lot of points. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to get points. And I don't want to see them change the direction of the organization by chasing fool's gold, if you will.
You're talking about trying to chase the postseason.
Yeah, I don't want to see them. Oh, hey, let's go out and trade first round draft picks for some stopgap. They could maybe squeak us into the playoffs. I mean, because as good as the Islanders are playing, they're still 3rd place in the Metro, right? Yeah. And the teams right behind them have multiple games in hand, 2-3 games in hand, and they're only up by like 2 points or 3 points. Very, very bunched up. The Metro is extremely bunched up. If just take a look at, you got the Caps are on top, 39 points. They have 1 game in hand on the Islanders. This is a light week for the Capitals. Carolina is 1 point ahead of the Islanders with 2 games in hand. Pittsburgh is 2 points behind the Islanders and has 3 games in hand. Philadelphia is 2 points behind the Islanders, has 3 games in hand. The Devils are 2 points behind with 1 game in hand. The Rangers are tied. They're 3 points behind in the standings, same amount of games. And Columbus has a game in hand and is 5 points behind. And as we've seen, a good week, you move up. A bad week, you drop 3 or 4 spots. So it kind of just is what it is. But as of right now, the Islanders are in a playoff position. But it's super bunched up. I just don't want to see them altering their overall plan, right? The big picture.
Changing course, yeah.
Right, because I don't want to see them say, well, gosh, let's keep Anders Lee or let's keep J.G. Pajot because this team is in the hunt for a playoff spot. I don't want to see that. Think big picture. Think longer term. Think longer than just the end of your nose, which a lot of Islander fans are just not capable of, honestly. Lou Lamoriello certainly wasn't capable of it. If you listen to Elliot Friedman, he seems to be of the school of thought, the same thing that I am, that the Islanders are not going to mortgage the future to chase a playoff spot this year. And that's good news. That's good news. X.
Sorry, I'm reading the comments. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. I mean, I felt like we played just good enough to win that Tampa Bay game.
I don't even think we played good enough to win. The referees absolutely bailed out the Islanders in that game. They did. That's not a game the Islanders should have won. Absolutely.
I don't know. I think we played well enough to win. I mean, I will say the goal we scored was absolute luck. The deflection off the boards to Richie and a beautiful goal by Richie between the legs.
That's a beautiful skill move.
Yeah, absolutely. Between the legs shot like that was nuts.
The penalty was ridiculous. And Casey Cizikas, and this thing, it drives me crazy. You see a lot of the Islander veterans over the years doing this, laying on the ice like he's shot, them screaming from the bench. Look at him.
He did get sticked. He did get sticked in the face. You can't argue that.
It was 3 guys coming together and he gets sticked. That should not have been a penalty.
Keep your stick down. Keep your stick down. You can't have it up.
But long story short, to me, if it does not get called, it doesn't get called. I'm just saying, a lot of times that does not get called, particularly because there's 3 guys there. There's 3 guys there. They're all coming together. Stuff's going to happen.
But I think they had to call it because I think it drew blood.
He laid on the ice like he was dead. Then the official finally comes over, 40 seconds later, and then he gets a penalty, and he's up. Wham! He hops up. He's yucking it up with the guys on the bench. This is not soccer. Hockey is not soccer. It's not international soccer, where these guys lay down like they're dead. That said, Ilya Sorokin was spectacular in that
Absolutely.
game.
How many shots he saved right in front of his own net?
High danger chances. Yep. And can you live? Is Ilya Sorokin going to? Because right now Sorokin is playing like he was under Barry Trotz. Those first number of years where he was, top 3, top 4 goaltender in the league. He's right now playing just like that. If Ilya Sorokin was not playing at that level, this team is Columbus. Last in the division, a few points out of the playoff spot.
Yeah, him and Schaefer are absolutely winning us games.
He's been that good. He's just been that good.
Yep.
And like I said, the switching of the goalie coach was outstanding.
Good move.
Outstanding. Now, you hear some of the imbeciles online. Well, Lou Lamoriello signed this guy. Okay, but he was not the goalie coach. He was in the organization, but he was not the goalie coach. Okay? If Lou Lamoriello was there, he never would have brought this guy up. Never. It's my way or the highway. Goaltenders are a different breed, right? Just the fact that you have to make them feel comfortable in net. That's the biggest thing. And if this guy makes Ilya Sorokin more comfortable in net, and we're seeing that that's the case, it was a great move. Somebody in the organization, I don't know who, listened to him, and they made the change. Kudos to whoever listened to him, because he's wanted this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, he's been outstanding.
Yep.
Matthew Schaefer, he's slowed down a little bit. He's making a few more mistakes defensively, but you're not hearing me rip on him.
Now, let me ask, because I want your opinion on, I think it was the Florida game. It was him and D'Angelo out there. I think it was on the 3rd goal that was scored. It seemed like there was just a miscommunication where both guys shifted to one player and I guess left the other guy open. Pretty much it was like a 2-on-2. They both switched to the same exact guy, left the other guy open for an easy goal. Would you have blamed? I don't know if you remember the play or not, but would you have blamed that on
who moved from one side to the other?
It looked like originally when they were both coming back, Schaefer moved from the left to the right.
Okay. And what did D'Angelo do?
Played on the guy on the right, and then realized and was like, "Oh God, I got to get over." And then tried to slide and make a block attempt on the shot, and just couldn't get there.
We can't show NHL highlights because it demonetizes the video. So
yeah, it was the third goal that was scored, though.
Okay, but I'm just saying we cannot show it because it demonetizes the video.
Okay,
so we can't show it.
That's fine. We won't show it. But yeah, it was the third goal that was scored. I don't know who scored it, but it was the third goal that was scored.
Tony DeAngelo doesn't play any defense at all, so I don't. Like I said, I'm just not fresh in my mind that exact play. But
Boquist scored. Was the one who scored the goal.
Okay. All I remember about that game is listen post game and the Florida announcing, because I can't listen to the Islanders announce team. Cannot do it. So I listen to the road team. And why do I listen to the road team? Because you get a more honest portrayal of the road team. So that's why I don't like to listen to the Islander guys, because they're always going to tell you the Islander point of view. I want to hear unbiased point of view.
Yeah.
And you get that from the road telecast, their announcers. And Steve Goldstein, who's the play-by-play guy for them, and with Randy Moeller, mentioned that this was a game, because if people notice, the Florida Panthers have been scuffling almost all year. They've had a boatload of injuries. I think they still have six of their top forwards out, missing 3 defensemen. And they're scuffling right now. They would not make the playoffs right now if the playoffs started tomorrow. I'm confident that when they get their guys back, they're going to roll, right? I mean, it was a defensive gem for them. They just played a typical Florida game. And when teams play the Islanders like that, the Islanders are not winning games. That's what Carolina does. Can't beat certain teams for a reason. But when their announce crew says, the Panthers really needed a game like this, a breather. And that's the word he used, breather. I mean, that tells you the level of domination. I thought Tampa Bay was a total domination. But you can tell those are the type of games Islanders win, where they get thoroughly outclassed and they'll score a fluky goal.
I wouldn't say that it was outclassed. I'd say some of the mistakes we made were mental mistakes in that Florida game.
Florida carried all the action.
Okay, but we made mental mistakes to give up our goals.
Okay.
Not clearing a guy out. The first goal was like practically a goal from the blue line, not clearing the guy out who's, blocking Riddich's vision. So he can't go make a save on it.
Well, you know what?
I'm just saying that's a mental. I'm just saying that's a mental mistake by the defenseman there. And then the next goal was Shabanov getting his pocket picked because he's not paying attention. I mean, there's 2 goals right there on mental mistakes.
So that's getting outplayed, right?
Sure, I would say. Okay, it's not like they got out. I wouldn't say that they got out talented. I would say they weren't paying attention.
I'm talking about the overall game, not the scoring plays. I'm talking about the overall game. If you walked in off the street and watched the game, you said, man, that team with the little lion on their shirt, they're pretty damn good. And who the Washington Generals that they're playing? They're the Globetrotters. The Islanders, the Washington Generals. They're just not playing well, but they're amassing points. Can this team make the playoffs? I think they can. Will they? I don't know. Last week, I gave them 10% chance. I'm up to 15% now.
I don't know. I guess I'm just confused. You continue to say that they're not performing well and they're not playing well.
They're not playing well.
Yet they continually put up more points than you expect them to get every week.
Okay, but if you're going to tell me, if you actually watch the games with an objective eye, and I know it's hard for you because you don't watch a whole lot of hockey with an objective eye. And if you just watch it, there's no way you come on and say, man, the Islanders are really a team on the rise.
Maybe not as a unit, but specific players are playing very, very well for them. And it's a team game. So you have to, Sorokin's contributions that he's doing, that's a part of the team playing well.
Okay. When the play is all in your zone and you're getting outchanced all the time, the level, it's like the ice is tilted towards the Islanders' net. That's called getting outplayed. Okay. That's what I mean.
I mean, they're still winning games though. So, I mean, you can't argue it. They're still putting up points. They're still getting points.
Okay. Is that sustainable? Is playing hanging on by your fingernails?
For some teams, it is. For some teams, it is.
Over 82 games and then 3 months of the playoffs.
Some teams, it is.
It's not sustainable. I'm just going to tell you it's not sustainable. I won't even ask you the question. I'm just going to tell you that's not. And here's the thing. As we know of the Islanders, they tend to play better against, or they tend to get better results against better teams and then lay eggs against worse teams. Right.
Yeah, and that's the issue that I've had with the team. I think talking last week, I had said the same exact thing where it's like it's frustrating to see that, we'll pull out a win against a team that we really should have no chance to be in a game with, and then a team that we should absolutely be smoking will end up losing.
Yeah. I mean, they're not okay. Kudos, they got the points. And right now, they're only 2 points ahead. And with all the other teams having multiple, who are behind them as teams have multiple games in hand. So you're not running away with anything at this point, right? That's fair to say.
No. Yeah, I agree with that. Ooh, I think Grumpy dropped off here real quick. Hopefully he'll join us back. But yeah, ended up pulling off a victory last night. I did not watch the game last night. I think Grumpy ended up watching it. We pulled off an OT winner. And then, the Florida game was just not good. I had some notes here for the Florida game. Went ahead and had the second goal was poor by Shabanov getting his pocket picked. And then Barzal had a beautiful goal in that game on a backhand. It was a little bit of a lucky play. Oh, Grumpy's back. Let me add him in here. But yeah, the Barzal goal was a little bit of a lucky play. Took a deflection off a defenseman for Florida and ended up popping in. But one thing I noticed in that goal was Schaefer, I think, has established himself as such a good player in the league now that he draws defenders towards him. And that's how it opened up that passing lane for Barzal to get that shot off. Without, Schaefer drawing that defender off the fake shot, that lane doesn't open up for Barzal.
Well, because he's a special player.
And that's what I said. I said he's established himself in the league now as being a special player, being that guy where he draws defenders towards him. Yeah, I just thought that was a really nice play that he made on that assist to Barzal.
I think the teams that the Islanders are going to struggle with the most are the bigger physical teams. Those are the teams that are going to give them problems. And we've seen that. Vegas last night, they just kind of pushed the Islanders around.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Vegas game because it was on TNT. So
the second period was the Islanders were pretty good, but the first and the third, no. It was one-way traffic.
Yeah.
Particularly at the end. I mean, the last 5-6 minutes of that game, the Islanders just hanging on by the fingertips.
I kind of felt the same way in the Tampa game, especially like down the last minute when Tampa pulled the goalie. I was like, oh my God, I felt like a goal was about to be scored. It was just constant bombardment on Sorokin, but I mean, he held strong and ended up pulling out the W.
A lot of these teams try to get a little bit too fancy, as opposed to just putting shots on net and crashing the net. That's how the Islanders score a majority of their goals, honestly.
Yeah, it's like
not a bunch of pretty plays.
Kind of weird deflections.
Come playoff time, that's the way all the games are played. So, but I mean, cannot argue with 6 points out of 8 against high-level competition. And the team that was absolutely the worst in the standings is the one they didn't get 2 points from. I mean, Tampa Bay's first in the Atlantic. Colorado's first in the league, and Vegas is, I don't know if they're first or second in the Pacific. I mean, but good results. I'm just not sold. Still not sold. Just not sold on the organization.
Vegas is second, Pacific.
Yeah. Okay, Vegas is second. Mm-hmm. But I mean, how many points are they behind the Ducks right now? 2 points behind with the game in hand.
Yep.
Ducks are good. Okay.
You think we lose to them tomorrow?
I play the Ducks tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ducks score. Ducks can score. That was the problem with the Ducks. It depends on who the goalie is. I don't know if the Stahl comes back or not. No idea. He's their best goalie. I think they've won 3 in a row. But you can score on them. But they put the puck in the net. I'm sure it'll be Sorokin tomorrow, not Riddich. And Riddich has been good for the Islanders too. I know he took the loss in Florida, but I mean, he's been really good for them too.
Yeah, I mean, the first goal I wouldn't even blame on him, honestly. I think he just couldn't see it. I mean, because I looked at it, I was like, damn, that's a weak goal to give up. And then I'm like, okay, his vision's blocked.
Okay.
It's tough. That's on the defenseman. Defenseman's got to clear it out.
Okay, and what does the goalie have to do?
Stick the back of the guy's legs.
He's got to move his head around to see whoever's got the puck.
Yeah.
So you don't get I mean, if it's in close, okay, but from that range, you got to be able to see that puck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially from the blue line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
You have to see that puck.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just stand there looking at somebody's butt. You got to move your eyesight. I mean, you don't want to blame him. And like I said, he's been good. He's been good. Their goaltending this year has been outstanding. And Sorokin's been tremendous. Tremendous. For all the people who want to trade Ilya Sorokin. No, it's why you don't. Don't do it.
Looking towards the future.
I mean, you have, honestly, 2 super studs on this team. And 2 players who are really, really good and playing really well right now. Then you got other guys who are just, pluggers doing their job. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I just know Islander fans. I just know what they think. Oh, my, 3 weeks ago when we went on that West Coast road trip where we were outplayed in every single game and come away with almost all the points. Oh, my God, they're so great. No, and then we wound up losing to bad teams. It's like, oh, we suck. No, the team is what it is. It's a middle-of-the-road club who's going to be kicking around for the last playoff spot, kind of like we were last year, the year before, 2 years before that. It's just what the team is. The X factor is Sorokin is much, much better this year, and Matthew Schaefer. Other than that, it's the same exact team for the most part. Just a bunch of pluggers.
Yeah, I feel like we got our talent levels. Like we got a couple of guys kind of up here, and then everybody else is just
right.
Not great, not super talented.
I mean, look who scored for Islanders last night. Mark Gatcombe.
Yep.
Okay, who else scored? Actually, you have that information, don't you?
Yeah, give me one second.
Didn't Casey Suzuki score a goal?
We had Bo Horvat had 2, Gatcombe had 1, Simon Holmstrom had 1.
Simon Holmstrom, first one in forever for him.
That's it.
Right. And I honestly, in that shootout, I thought Horvat was going to score that goal. And again, think about it. Vegas, guys coming down, guys looking to do his move, the puck jumps off his stick. I mean, the Simon Holmstrom shot, that was a great save by who the heck was the goalie last night again for Vegas? Oh, Carter Hart. That was a really good save by him because that was a nice move on that by Simon Holmstrom. Nice stop. And I thought for certain, Horvat was going to score. And then who scored? The fourth liner scored. So, and there's your game. There's your game. Another 2 points they didn't deserve. I don't even think they deserved a point. Matter of fact, the whole weekend, I don't think they deserved a point. Cannot speak to the Colorado game. But if you're up 6-3, I'm going to guarantee you the goaltending wasn't good for Colorado. I mean, they've kind of the last few games, they've kind of come back down to earth a little bit as well. But we'll see.
I mean, you're still number 1 in their division, though. So,
well, yeah, you only have 2 regulation losses.
Yep.
Yep. And they just lost another game in overtime. I mean, the Stars, they're good teams. The Wild's playing.
The point drop off between the top 2, the Avalanche and the Stars, is like ridiculous, though.
Well, those
like
are
10-point difference.
Those are 2 of the top 5 teams in the league, right?
Yeah.
Then how many points? Let's scroll down to the West and see what we have. I mean, Anaheim's been really scroll down. I don't care. I'm talking about top teams in the league.
Oh, Anaheim,
points.
Yeah.
Okay, 39 points. And then go back up to the East if you can. And then you got, the Lightning, who were really on a hot streak, and now they've kind of settled down a little bit. Boston, can you believe it?
I can.
You pick, I know you can. I didn't think they'd be where they are right now, second place in division.
Detroit.
And then, but you look at Toronto. Toronto's picking their game up. Okay. The Panthers are picking their game up.
Yep.
It's like I said, it's early yet for teams like that with established track records. And then you got the Capitals. They were really struggling to start the year. All of a sudden, they're leading division again. Hurricanes. We all know how good the Hurricanes are. No need even to discuss it, right?
Yep.
Penguins, a surprise. I'm surprised they're 14-7-7, honestly.
I think we had placed, or at least I had placed them. I think it's coming close to finishing last in the division.
Yeah, I thought the Flyers would be last, and they still might be by the end of the year, but even the crappy Flyers, 7-3 over the last 10. So it's like not, even though the Islanders are getting points, it's not like they're running away with anything.
No.
You know what I'm saying? All the teams, and again, it's part of that too many games going to overtime. Way too many games go overtime. The Devils were in first place in the division last week. First place. Now they're in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, sixth place.
Yes.
I mean, that's just how close it is. That's just how close it is. They're still struggling. No Jack Hughes means no scoring.
3 teams with 35 points. It's like any one of those teams wins or loses a game. I mean, you're jumping 2 spots.
Right. And once again, the Penguins and the Flyers have 3 games in hand on the Islanders.
Yep.
I mean, I've always said I'd rather have the points than the games, but 3 is a lot of games. That's just kind of the way you look at it. I mean, next week, the Islanders could be in 6th place. Who knows?
Very well could. Very well could.
Yeah.
Do you want to get some comments, Grumpy?
Let's jump on some. And I know it's going to be a shorter show today, but let's jump in some comments real quick, and then I'll do the ad read. Gungun says, the Islanders are the real deal. When selling a house, how important is curb appeal? X, are you looking to buy a house anytime soon?
Eventually, yes, soon. Yeah.
Or are you happy being a tenant where a family member is giving you a nice deal on where you live now? Which is more appealing to you?
Currently, right now?
Yes. What's more important?
What's more important to me long term or
right now? Right now. You being a parasite or buying a house. Probably. If you're looking to buy a house, I know you've looked at homes, why I'm asking. How important is driving up and seeing the house?
Very important.
You think that's the most? You think that's really, really important?
I think when your first impression to somebody on a home, yes, I think it's very important.
So the drive up.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, if you drive up to a house and the outside looks dilapidated, right, and it's falling apart, are you going to be like, oh yeah, that's the one? That's absolutely the one I want, even though the inside could look immaculate.
Okay,
but if you're driving up and the outside looks like the siding's falling off of the house, there's broken windows, there's
Okay, if there are broken windows and the siding is falling off the house, guess what? The inside's going to look like trash too.
You don't know that.
Broken windows.
Maybe not broken windows, but the siding's falling off the house. The siding's falling off the house, and we'll just say the siding's falling off, and it looks like there's damage to the roof.
Okay, all right. Do you think the Islanders are the real deal?
I think they're getting lucky, but at the same point in time, they're winning games, so I don't think you can really complain about them putting up points.
Okay, for me, no, they're not the real deal.
Do I think they're going to win a cup? No.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're in the mix for a playoff spot.
As a fan, though, you can't complain about them putting up points.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the Islander fans think that this is like, oh my God, we're great.
I don't think they're great. I don't think they're great. I think they still have holes on the team. I think there's still things that they need to fix. I think that some of the goals they're getting are lucky bounces. They absolutely are. And Sorokin is absolutely keeping them in games. If without him, their record would be very different. I'll say that.
I said it last week, and I'll say it here again. I'd much rather the Islanders were playing better, even if they had less points, if they were carrying the action, something that's sustainable. Oh, look at that work ethic. They outwork guys like Florida, outworks guys on the boards all the time. I feel much better about the team overall if that was the case, as opposed to, man, Ilya Sorokin's got to stop 4 straight shots 3 foot from the net because the defense is full apart, or that they're losing their assignments, or they're not hustling back, or, the other team's hitting posts all the time. I'd feel better if the Islanders were carrying the action at all. Right now, they're not. Now, against lesser teams, you would expect that they would, and we're going to find out soon enough. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm not going to complain about them putting up points. I'm not. And they consistently overperform. They consistently get more points than we think they're going to get week in, week out. So they're obviously doing something right. I mean, that's all.
Okay. Edwin Figueroa says, great win yesterday.
Yep.
Okay. It was a win. Islanders got 37 points. Yes, they do. X, do you know the only half Iranian hockey player in the NHL? I'll give you a hint. He plays for TJ's favorite team. I'm going to say X does not know that.
I know the favorite team is the Rangers, right? Isn't that what everybody gave?
I don't know which one. I don't know which team. He could be the Red Wings. Who knows?
Oh, okay. Then yeah,
TJ's favorite team is the Islanders.
Everybody crapped on him called him like a secret Rangers fan. I do remember that.
Frank from Empire State says, hello, Grumpy. Hello, all. Grump told you the Islanders were good. They're not. Next. Drew says, can't wait for this podcast to be all about Sun X sitting in silence while Grumpy drinks the haterade all podcast long.
Grumpy has been on the haterade.
Also, may the best man win this week in fantasy football. I have a sneaking suspicion about a certain record that you finished with in the regular season, but let's see if the lucky number comes to fruition. You will lose, Drew. You're playing me. You will lose. Stevie P says, I wonder how negative Grumpy will be. I don't think I've been negative at all.
Answer that very.
I don't think I've been negative at all.
Oh, come on. You've been talking trash about them.
All I said was
they're not performing well. Yeah, they keep getting points. It's
not sustainable to win games when you're getting dominated every night. It's just not sustainable, what I'm saying.
Sure, I'll say for most teams it's not sustainable.
For every team, it's not.
Every team. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Name one team that gets outplayed every single game in any sport and wins consistently.
Liverpool, for the most part, at the beginning of the season, absolutely was.
Stop. Okay, how are they now? Liverpool. Is there a reason why you go
have issues in the dressing room?
No one here even knows what you're talking about.
I was just saying they were winning games right at the end for like the whole entire beginning of the year.
Okay,
they were winning games right at the end.
The New York freaking Yankees. I'll give you an example for them. That's a team where they're not winning because they can't win when it really matters. And there'll be games where, they'll hit a home run late to win a game. It's not sustainable. Certain things are not sustainable. Having poor team defense is not sustainable. For as good as the Islanders are, and they're 6 games over 500, they only have a +3 in goal differential. And they've not been getting blown out. All their games are close. If it's not for is the goaltender going to play, have a .925 save percentage the whole year? I don't know. But if he is, that's sensational. That's Vezina Trophy material, right?
Yeah, and he very well could.
Certainly in the running for that.
He's in really great form right now.
Okay, so if he's playing at a Vezina Trophy level and your team is only in a playoff spot by 2 points, I'm going to say your team's not as good as you think it is. That's all. Not saying they can't make the playoffs. If Matthew Schaefer hits the wall and all of a sudden...
There's a lot of ifs that you keep mentioning.
Okay.
Here.
You think Matthew Schaefer is going to be able to play 25, 26, 27 minutes a night the whole year?
I have no idea.
As a rookie, as an 18-year-old in the toughest league in the world.
I don't know. He sure as hell overperformed what we thought he was going to at the beginning. He's outperformed from what we thought he was going to be.
Probably not, though, right? At some point in time, you kind of hit the wall as a rookie. You just do. You just do.
Maybe he's not a normal rookie.
He's not a normal rookie. But that doesn't mean that
says he hits a wall.
He's playing an awful lot. Okay. He's playing an awful lot. I really want him to go to the Olympics.
We're still waiting for him to hit that wall, I guess, is what I should say. We're still waiting for that.
Well, yeah, we're only game 31. So what's he like at game 65? That's my point.
We'll find out. Keep tuning in.
Stevie P says the Rangers are losing 2-0 right now.
3-0 right now.
3-0, okay. And he has guaranteed. Grumpy says we got lucky against Colorado. I did not see the Colorado game. Cannot comment on the Colorado game. Frankie G Sports says Islanders have the hardest schedule in the league to start the season. Now we're coming up on the easy part of the schedule. Let's keep winning games.
The only thing I'm afraid of is if we're coming up on the easy part of the schedule, these are usually games we end up losing.
Yep.
The games that we should win.
And the games that are really important are the division games.
Yeah. Yep. Those are the most important.
They're the most important
games. Yep.
Freedom Front Adventure says, Grumpy, the last show I gave Sonex a simple assignment with clear instructions. Pull up an image of Mick Vukota from the Spittin' Chickens podcast, but he pulled up his Twitter like a moron. Sorry. A moron. Gugun says, if the Islanders are shocking the world in a few months, will they hold on to the old guys? Would such a move lack street smarts?
I really think that they should get rid of the older guys. They should not keep them. Odds are not going to win the cup this year. So, even if you make the playoffs, what's the point? If you're not going to win you already made the playoffs. So if you have no shot to win, why would you sabotage your future for your team?
Again, worst case scenario for the Islanders is the management team changing the thought on, we know we need to move these guys for assets, so we expedite the rebuild, right? Because none of them, and I mean none of the veterans who are free agents this year will be with the team when the Islanders are close enough to potentially competing for a Stanley Cup. Not a one. So you turn them into people who will have the potential to be on your team in 2, 3, 4 years. That's what you want. You cull the veterans off the team to add younger talent. That's what you do. You continue to load up on the draft. I believe the World Juniors had who made the team Canada. Keyshawn Aitchison did make the team for Team Canada. I don't think they've come out with the rosters yet for the United States team, but the Islanders have quite a few guys from the United States. I'll be interested to see how many of them make the World Juniors for the United States. Be interesting to see. Okay, next comment, Mr. X. And the move would lack street smarts. Any type of sport, actually. Matthew Sklar says Sorokin is playing out of his mind. Absolutely. Since he's been sensational, phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd say he's definitely been
player
of the month.
You want to know how good he's been? He won player of the NHL Player of the Week last week.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
That's how, when your goaltenders play the week, guess what? You're winning a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Even Phil's Fiction said that, and he hates Sorokin, hates him, despises him. Said, yeah, he's been really good. So that's like saying he's been Hall of Famer, pretty much. Freedom Front Red says, I laughed my butt off at Montreal fans' displeasure for Dobson's contract. They know what all of us intelligent Isles watchers know. He's a turnover machine, a liability. He's the same, 77, the same guy. Why do you care? And here's another thing. I don't understand. Noah Dobson is no longer on the team. He's no longer on the team. What are you concerning yourself, anyone, with Noah Dobson? He's not on the team anymore. I don't even think about Noah Dobson. He's not part of the Islander organization anymore. He didn't want to sign here. He moved on. See you later. Frankie G Sports says, Phil is getting on my nerves on Twitter. Above any move loud he loves, and any Darsh move he hates. Any Lou move he loves, and any Darsh move he hates. Get TJ and Phil on for a show, please. Yeah, well, that's always Phil. He's a Lamarillo guy. Frankie G adds, we outplayed better than the Avalanche. I didn't see the game. Cannot comment. I think if your wins, 5-3, empty net don't count. But 5-3, something.
You absolutely outplayed your opponent.
Or the other team's goaltending sucked. I don't know. I did not see the game. Cannot comment. Mark Alberti said, we've had a very tough schedule, Grumpy. Absolutely, we have. Very difficult schedule. Way more points than I thought they would have through that portion of the schedule, without a doubt.
I'll just say the goalie for the Avalanche in that game had a .87 save percentage.
So not too good. That's not too good. That's 5 goals.
Sorokin's was .92, so Sorokin's was pretty good.
There's a difference in your game right there. Yeah. The goaltending, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see the game. I don't even know the shots on goal. I do not know.
It was
Colorado's best team in the league, so I don't know what the shots on goal were for that game.
38 for Colorado. Or sorry, 38 for Colorado, and then 41 for the Avalanche.
Colorado and the Avalanche are the same team.
Or sorry, the Islanders.
Okay,
Sorry.
so the Islanders, like I said, I did not see the game. So
My fault.
I cannot comment on something I did not see. Next comment, please.
Yes, we have had a very tough schedule so far.
Frankie G says third place in the Metro with the hardest schedule in the league. Okay, and they're 2 points out of being sixth in the division. You don't know what's going to happen. I always get into this disagreement with X. You got to let everything play out because
people don't want to let stuff play out. Though you got to think ahead. You got to think ahead.
Tony Chi says we can keep Pajot. Why would you want to keep Pajot? Why would you keep JG Pajot? Makes no sense. He's 33 years old. You move him. You move him for assets. He won't be with the team when they're good again. You're playing Callum Ritchie, who's, he's doing okay. I mean, he's young. He's 21 years old. You expect him to get better. And I'm going to tell you, the goal against Tampa was
beautiful.
That's a skill move right there.
Yeah, beautiful goal.
Not everybody. You know who doesn't score that goal? The fourth liner doesn't score that goal because you don't have the hands for that. But this guy, he's got that he's got that prerequisite skill. That's what you want to see from the Islanders. That's what you want to see. Him developing.
You already hit this one, right? Sorry.
Yep, sure did. Mark Alberti says they're not trading Pajot. Why wouldn't they trade Pajot?
I would.
Why would they not trade Pajot and Lee? Why would you not move them? If you give me a logical explanation why they shouldn't trade those guys, I'm willing to listen to you. Dan with the children says, good evening, gentlemen. Life has kept me busy lately. Hope everyone's doing well. Everyone's doing well. And looks like we had our Santa Claus picture, Dan. So I hope you and the family are doing extremely well. Mm-hmm. Frankie G says, keep JG and get rid of Lee. You need some veteran players on your team. The team's loaded with veteran players. We're loaded with veteran players. You don't need guys in their mid-30s. Get rid of both Pajot and Lee. How many veterans do you need? You got Pelech. You got Pulak. You got Mayfield. You got Horvat. You got Barzal. How many leaders do you need? How many leaders do you need on the team? How many guys over 30 do you need on the team? It's not a grandpa league. It's not a beer league. It's National Hockey League. Youth runs. You got to go with the youth, not veterans.
Yeah, I just honestly, I think anybody that has value that's not like a detrimental piece to the team we should be looking to get rid of them.
Absolutely.
I mean, realistically, I guess here's the question: do you feel that the current team that we have now can win a cup?
No.
And if that's the answer, that's the thing that you're playing towards.
They can't even get, if they make the playoffs, they're going to get rolled by Carolina.
Which always happens. Rolled. And before that, it was Tampa.
Rolled.
But yeah, I mean,
okay. They played Tampa. You realize they played Tampa like 5 years ago. It's been a long time.
I know. I was just saying before Carolina, it was Tampa that always beat us.
Carolina, they can't get past. You can't even get to Carolina. I'm sorry, to Tampa unless you can get past Carolina. It's not happening. Sorry. Carolina just kryptonite for the Islanders. Now, could they be kryptonite 3 or 4 years from now when the Islanders get a lot younger? Maybe not. But right now they are.
They need to look towards building a dynasty is what they need to look towards doing.
Well, or
surround a team that's going to all come up together with Schaefer and be absolutely dominant. And that's what they need to do.
They have some pieces, right? Yeah. They have, looks like Callum Ritchie could turn out to be a good player. Okay. Yeah. He's at the NHL level.
He's shown promise.
They're not going to move Horvat. They're not moving him. I know people advocate for moving Horvat. They're not moving Horvat.
Barzal's not moving. Sorokin's not moving. Yeah.
I mean,
those are just guys that they're not getting rid of.
Defensively, can they afford to move a defenseman? No, because they have nothing to step in behind them.
Well, because Romanov's out.
Well, not just Romanov. All right, Romanov's out for the year.
Yeah.
So they're playing, now you're seeing Pulak, Pelech, and Schaefer playing, 23, 24, 25 minutes a night. They're not going to be able to play the whole year like that.
Are you afraid that they're going to make a trade for a defenseman?
I cannot. If they're going to make a trade, maybe it's for, I don't know what it would be for. Maybe some minor leaguer that's not going to make the team, or some like a 7th round pick. They're not going to be bringing in Bobby Orr.
No, I know
it's just
that.
A stopgap.
I think we had even discussed this on the last show. Like, I would rather them bring in a free agent, even if they're not
there are
great.
no free agents. There are no free agents out there.
Okay. Oh, did you get this one?
No. Frank from Empire State says, but I like Phil on here with the fellas. Glad I'm not on Twitter. Sounds like his D-bagness comes out. Phil, here's what Phil does. He likes to gaslight the fan base. That's what he does. And if you catch him in a lie, which he lies a lot, if you catch him in a lie, he just shifts to something else. And he's good at it, but you got to call him on his bullshit. And that's what I do. Stevie P says, I do agree with that. Don't sacrifice the future for now. Right. And that's all I care about. I mean, if you're happy, I do not want to see them. Is winning important? Yeah, winning's important. Is it imperative for this year? I don't feel it is. If the guys are continuing to produce and the young players are developing, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm not looking to here. I'm looking out here and further than that. I'm looking big picture. If the Islanders had listened to me a number of years ago, I think we'd be a serious contender. But you want to know what else we wouldn't be? We wouldn't have got Matthew Schaefer, because the team would have already turned over most of those veterans and been much better last year and probably got into a playoff spot. Everything happens for a reason, right? I'm glad we have Matthew Schaefer. So I guess I'm glad that Lou Lamoriello ran the team into the ground the last few years. So we got Matthew Schaefer because he's generational. Absolutely is. And I did see one little thing at the Colorado game where I think it was Peter McNabb was the color commentator, or maybe Brian Engblom. I forget who it was. And he did a Bobby Orr move, that little pivoter. And that's what he said. He said, man, he reminds me of Bobby Orr. Who was the first one to say reminder of Bobby Orr? X? You remember?
You did, if I'm not mistaken. You absolutely said, and you're like, this might be too early in his career. I already said they should retire his jersey in the rafters. So it could be worse.
48 jersey?
I might have to get a number 48 jersey, Grumpy.
Okay.
Might have to. I have to wait outside of a game and get him to sign it.
Okay. Let's if we could, let's get into our ad read, if you don't mind. And you can continue to do your your little stuff here if you don't. If you could just give me the time, please.
Just did.
Okay, thank you. Our first ad is going to be from DraftKings Pick 6. Every yard, every sack, every interception, every touchdown with Pick 6. DraftKings' newest game. Every snap can turn into a big-time payout. This isn't just watching the game. This is playing to win. Here's how it works. Pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the better your payout. It's that simple. And here's the bonus kick. Here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry fee on your first pick set. You know the game. Now make it pay. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with the DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer. We have another second one. X, if you could document the time on this one. This is just a regular DraftKings ad. I just want to go back to the Pick 6 real quick. If you want to predict that Patrick Mahomes is going to throw another 5 interceptions this week, I mean, that's pretty much even money as far as I'm looking at it. Okay. So
It was
here we
only
go.
4.
Here we go. This is our regular DraftKings ad. Like I said, X, please document the time. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey. Experience them all at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. So if we have any Missouri listeners, hey, this is for you. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through or of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. Yeah, watch out for those Illinois taxes. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. So I just wanted to make sure we got through our ads before we bang out the rest of these comments, X.
All right, let's get to some more comments. You got this one, right?
Yes, we got to that
Okay.
one. Fleet Dream says Holmstrom finally scored a goal after a month. Yeah, I feel kind of bad for him. I thought he honestly deserved better than he got. And everyone knows I'm not really a Simon Holmstrom fan, but I feel that he absolutely deserved better than he got to start the year. I thought he earned a chance on one of the top 2 lines, and they buried him on the third. So good for him. And I thought, like I said, that shootout move was really, really good for him. Gungun says, the Biz said he's all in the Islanders. Grumpy, do you miss shopping at Alexander's? I never shopped at Alexander's. And he's all, why do you think that Paul Bichonette is all in on the Islanders, X? I did send you.
I think it's one reason and one reason only.
What's the reason, X?
Schaefer time.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Ed Figueroa says anything can happen in the playoffs.
That's very true. Anything can happen in the playoffs. I'll say it's a little bit different in the playoffs for hockey and like
it's
baseball, because it's not just one game. You know, if it's like football where it's just one game, yeah, you know, any team can have a bad game and then end up losing. But in hockey, it's a little bit different.
Over the course of a number of playoff series, you got to go through 4 series in the NHL to win a cup.
Yeah, it's tough.
You can't be a team that just scuffling around.
You can't make mistakes
to win a cup. Just not going to happen.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Unless you really find form in the playoffs and you just start playing it out your mind, or having a goalie that plays well.
It's such a grind. The NHL is, I think, the toughest playoff.
The toughest sport to win.
Yeah, it's so tough because the game is just so physical. Fleet Dream says Phil is happy that Lou is Tom Hagen towards ownership. It's just not true. It's just not true. Dan Lashan says, you're exactly right, Grumpy. We need to continue to sell assets. I've been very pleased by the way the team has been playing, but we're not contending for a cup with this roster, and we're more than a deadline acquisition away. Absolutely. And I don't want to see that change. I mean, like I said, if you're going to tell me that, okay, we're going to continue to win, but we're going to be moving assets at the deadline, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a change in philosophy.
Yep.
I mean, and I'd really like to have it pick in the top 10.
Especially for one season.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have to be all picks in this year's drafts. We can get a 2027 first. Anything where you can build up your prospect pool, which is still shallow, regardless of last year's draft. It's still shallow overall.
Need some more defensemen.
Drew says, thanks for the reminder, Goon X. Check out Butch Goring Twitter. He absolutely roasted
Bitchinette earlier today.
Grumpy's favorite Bitchinette early today.
I'll look it up and see if I can put it up there.
Yeah. Fleet Dream says, Sunex, how come our names are not visible? Only our @ sign is visible. I don't know why. I mentioned that to X. He's doing something wrong.
Okay. Why is it automatically just me doing something
when
wrong?
you started doing something that screwed up. I've told you that already.
You know what?
I told you that already.
It wasn't me. I didn't do anything different. It was Grumpy.
So
Grumpy got on here and corrupted the system.
Epic fail from X.
Oh my God.
Gungun says, Isles trademark last night. Can't clear nor hit an open net. Cough up a league with mere seconds remaining in the game. Sunex, which famous rock band once sang the song remains the same? It's Led Zeppelin. He has no idea. Next comment. Drew says, also, this is gonna irritate Grumpy, but I don't care. Chat, don't let him continue to spread misinformation about how great Dobson has been defensively in Montreal. Even Habs fans are starting something. They're starting to love him is what's happening.
To get irritated with Dobson and Matheson being defensively inept, I see it all over Twitter every day.
Okay. So how many fans are you talking about? 10? 10?
He's talking
they get all the tough assignments. They get Matheson and Dobson get all the tough assignments. If he's so bad, why is he still high plus number plus minus?
And then this is what Butch Goring replied to.
Oh my God, bitch! No one is buying your weak act on you crying over your shitty picks. I would have buried you on the spot. Okay, Butch Goring should just back off.
I think that's what it's referring to. I hope it was.
Who's that girl?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just an Islanders fan. Okay.
Yeah.
So I attacked Bitch last year for going after Butch because it's just not right. But I mean, Butch is in his mid-70s, and he's not a Twitter guy, and I didn't think it was fair for Bitch to go after him, Bitchinette. Now, that being said, Butch, just, go out on your sword, bro. Don't even start battling with him. It's not going to end well for you. And I hate him because of what he does to you.
And this is just something else here. It says, thankful that Darsh fired Greco. Sorokin this season, before firing Greco, his goals, his GA was 3.9, save percentage 873, record 2-3, shutout 0. After GA 2, save percentage 92.3, record 8-5-2, shutouts 3. So obviously he's been performing a lot better.
And that came from the Islanders Never Say Die podcast, I believe.
That's right, it did.
Yeah, make sure you give credit to the show, X, when you see those.
That's right. That one came from the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. That is right.
It's the Islanders Fans United. And that being said, maybe it was Greco. I'm not saying Greco is a bad coach. Whatever happened, he didn't work well with Sorokin. If you're not working well with your goaltender, who's been a Vezina Trophy finalist, you need a new goalie coach. Again, it's a different type position. Guys have to be mentally, they have to believe in themselves. They have to have that belief. When everything's falling apart, like the Islanders defense in front of them, you have to believe that you're going to be able to make that stop. And that's what it took. So, great move. I don't know who was the one who put the finger on the dial and said that, but whoever did, kudos to them. Jay Kiriako says, we all need to give Ilya Sorokin credit. I used to think he either pitches a shutout or gives up 5 goals. Not this year. He's been consistently good. He's a Vezina candidate. Very good, Jake. Dan says, Rittich has also done an admirable job as a backup too. Absolutely has. Been very good this year in the backup role.
Yep.
Mark Alberti says, boys, get ready to come in third place. Never know. Long season. Frankie G says, yes, Sorokin has been good, but to say we would be in last place is a bit much. David Rittich has a winning record this season also. Okay. Look at the standings. Look at the standings. If you don't have Sorokin, Rittich is not capable of doing what Sorokin does. And Rittich has been good in the backup role. It's different being the backup than starter. Frankie G says, okay, we already read this one. Okay. Tony Cheese says, I remember telling my dad that starting Schaefer was the worst idea. I didn't want him to start. I didn't want him to be up with the team selfishly because I wanted the Islanders to perform worse this year, and I thought he could benefit not playing in juniors but playing in college. You're seeing Gavin McKenna this year, who was tearing it up in juniors last year, kind of struggling in the NCAA. And it's hurting his draft stock. Why? Because he has to go up with more physical players.
He's going against men.
He's going against men now. And it's a little bit different. I thought that could have benefited Schaefer. He just okay.
He would have been absolutely just honestly, I would almost be afraid that his progression would not have been as good as it's been if he played in college.
I think that, well, he's obviously just blown me right out of the water.
He's too good. He was too good for college.
Way too good. I said that because he only played, 17 regular season games, 5 tournament games. That's all he played last year. And he's a young 18. Just turned 18 in September. Yep. So that's why I was two things what I wanted. I want the Islanders not to do as well so they could do better in this draft because I feel they're another really strong draft from being a real contender in the next couple of years. Again, it's always big picture with me. Always big picture, not, I hope we get a playoff game to get rolled by Carolina. I don't care about that. I want big picture. That's why Lamoriello drove me crazy every year. Fleet Dream says, I like Dobson, but I've seen Hab fans being upset with his play as of late. Well, that's when you're losing games, they're going to pick on somebody all the time.
They usually pick on the new guy.
Always. Kungler says, Sunex, last week you successfully named the Islanders' first ever captain with help from Grumpy. So let's get back to basics. Please name a total of 5 Islanders captains.
Oh, Lee.
Tavares.
Flatley.
Pat Flatley, your favorite?
Michael Pekka.
Yeah.
That's another good one. And then
dude.
Is it Bossy?
No. Eddie Westfall. Dude, you should have that shit written down.
I
told you have that shit written down.
It was close.
You should never get that wrong. David Shaw McDonald says, Grumpy old man, we're heading in the right direction. We're getting better results. Darce seems to be dead serious about his original plan of how to give us sustainable success through drafting real talent. Well, we're going to find out.
Yep.
Because the first, hasn't really done anything yet. He's done nothing.
I know you're going to say the first pick was a no-brainer. Anybody could have made it, right? The Schaefer selection.
He signed Jonathan Drouin to a free agent deal. That's it. And I like the deal. Of course, signing Romanoff to that ridiculous contract was dumb, really stupid. And signing Palmieri back was dumb also. Those are guys they should have been trading at the deadline. Not Romanoff, but Palmieri, they should have moved him at the deadline. And then if he wanted to come back, fine. These guys are so in love with the Islanders, trade them at the deadline. And then when they become free agents, sign them back on the cheap. That's how you maximize a freaking asset. If you're in love with Anders Lee, trade him at the deadline and then offer him a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal at vet freaking minimum or whatever. Certainly a pay cut from what he's making now. Same thing with JG Pajot. You move guy at the deadline, and if he wants to come back as a free agent, and they won't, by the way, because they can make more money somewhere else. You sign a guy back for a year or two.
It was the same thing that happened with, it's similar to what happened with Tavares, where, he preached that he wanted to be here so bad, wanted to be here, all that, and then ended up leaving as a free agent.
The difference,
you're better off trading somebody and getting some value for him.
The difference is Tavares is 28 and Anders Lee's 36.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Yeah. And JG Pajot is 33. So there's a difference when it comes to that. You move these guys, you get an asset, and then come free agency. If they want to come back and you say, okay, hey, if you want to hear, we're not giving you 5 years. We'll give you a 2-year deal for a JG Pajot, 1 year, year to year for Anders Lee. That's what you do. That's how you maximize an asset. Just because you sign with the Islanders doesn't mean that you should be here till the end of time.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. It's not the way. That's just not the way. It's not professional sports. Sorry. Matthew Sklar says it's also amazing when you have a backup goal, you can actually show up and not be made of glass. a rip on Varlamov. We all know Varlamov was injured. We all knew he was never coming back, and he never will. Frankie G says, Grumpy, they're winning games against the best teams in the league. Are they really winning those games?
They're getting points. They're getting points.
They're getting points. Yep.
At the end of the day, all that matters is the points.
Okay, so when they go on a 4-game losing streak and lose,
sure,
to
then
Buffalo,
then you can say,
Detroit,
yeah, they're talking.
Are you going to say? Are you going?
Sure.
And when they outplay those teams, are you going to say, well, shit, they're just as bad as those teams? Because I know what I'm going to say.
I'm going to say they're not playing well.
We didn't get the results, but we're playing much better.
But you're not playing well. If you're losing, you're not playing well.
No, that's not true.
If you lose a game,
if you're dominating the action, the puck is funny, man. It takes bounces. A guy will make a spectacular save. But if you're playing well and carrying dominating action, I don't care if we lose to, and it's going to happen. We're going to outplay certain teams, bad teams, and get beat by them somehow. And I'm not going to say, man, the Islanders suck because they got beat by Buffalo or by San Jose or whoever, or Calgary. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say we carried the action and we were unlucky to not get a point or 2 points out of there, but I like the way we played. Big freaking picture. Try to think big picture. That's all. Next. Stevie P says, how are we not performing well? Are you watching the product on the ice? That's my question. Are you watching the product on the ice? If you can honestly say, watching it objectively, that the Islanders are outplaying the teams that they've beaten these last couple of games, I'm just going to agree. We'll just agree to disagree on that. They've outplayed us. They don't get the bounces. We get the bounces. Tampa Bay, perfect example of getting bounces. Perfect example. A couple lucky breaks here and there. I mean, there was penalties that could have been, the Islanders could have been called on the Islanders, and they just didn't. Frankie G says, Brendan Burke is good. He's an excellent announcer. Like him very much.
What's the thing you always say about the officials, Grumpy, that you can't blame it on the officials?
You don't blame it on the officials, but when you're calling certain...
Oh, nope, you can't blame it.
Okay, like I said, I'm saying they could have... I'm not saying the officials cost them. Like I said, they could have called many penalties on the Islanders that they did not. And the Islanders get a fluky last couple of minute penalty. That happens. It's just... And it will happen against the Islanders during this year. It will. You're not going to hear me cry about it, but I will say that's a penalty where they were letting stuff go all game. They call something and it hurt the Islanders. That's what I will say when that happens. And it will happen during the season. Fleet Dream says, almost had a goalie fight between Detroit and Calgary. It's tough to almost have that unless they meet at center ice.
The goalie fights are great, though. They're awesome.
Few and far between.
Yeah.
De Figueroa said, let's not forget Schaefer is still a rookie. Absolutely. Can you imagine where you imagine where he's going to, people forget, McCarr came in when he was 21 years old, 21 or 22. Can you imagine where Schaefer's going to be at 21 or 22?
Really good.
Yeah. I saw something ESPN put out, who would they think should be the rosters for, the Olympics. And I'm looking at the defensemen for the Canadian team that this guy put out there. I'm like, hell no. I'm looking at half Travis Sanheim, Colton Parenko. Are you kidding me? You must be kidding me, right? It's got to be Matthew Schaefer. Guggenheim says, in all honesty, with an objective eye, the Islanders this year play up to the competition, but always play down to the competition. I don't know. I mean, we absolutely dominated Detroit, and they're a lower level team. And we've been dominated by all the good teams. We've got wins, we've gotten points, but we've been absolutely dominated at the point of attack. Drew says, plus Pulak has done a fantastic job alongside Schaefer. I know because I had Pulak on my fantasy team. Okay. Why is Pulak looking better this year than he has in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, 4 years, let's say? Because he's playing with Schaefer. It's just like the Dobson effect for Romanov. When the other guy on you is an absolute stud, it makes you better. I'm a firm believer in that. Pulak didn't do shit. When he's out there with Pelech, they don't look so good defensively. You ever notice? When they're out there on the penalty kill? Man, they're getting lost out there in coverage all the time. Schaefer's out there. Man, Pulak looks like he's an all-star again. Interesting, right? JP says, it's odds I'm not getting notifications. The New York Islanders are doing much better than we thought they do. They are not a cup team, but they do move up the ice as a unit well. Yeah, they're just not real good defensively. But I think offensively, I think they're more cohesive as a unit this year. I will agree with that. James says, and Sorokin's been fantastic. No surprise. He's absolutely bounced back. Frank from Empire State, he's always yelling. You ever notice that? Always.
He's not yelling. He just puts it in caps.
Capitals means screams because look, some of them, he's like, oh my God, Grumpy. Now I know where TJ gets it from, LOL. I record games and pre and post. I rewind, etc. The Islanders are playing good considering that they're playing top 5 superstar teams regularly. The Islanders are hurt. All the other teams are hurt too. Don't think that the Islanders have 2 injuries. Two. Florida has 6 guys of their top 12 out and 3 defensemen. Stop. Not true. Every team is banged up. The Islanders are healthier than most. Much more healthier than most. Next, please, Mr. X. David Sean McDonald says, cap management. Players realize the benefits of living on Long Island, playing on a team on its way up in a brand new arena. No, we're not there yet, but damn, we're getting our optimism back. Let's go Islanders. Yeah,
Yep.
why are we getting the and to me,
youth, the kid.
It's
why.
Schaefer. You look at the games where they'll win in overtime, and he's just like everyone jumps on the ice, and he's right. It's him. It's that kid. He's the difference. JP says the Capitals have really surged. Right. The Capitals have a boatload of injuries too, and they're surging. I mean, are they going to be like they were last year? No. Are they going to continue to win at a 90% clip the rest of the year? No. But they're hot right now. So, good for them. Frankie G Sports says, I disagree with the get better results against better competition. The Islanders dominated the Bruins, Blues, and Capitals, but they couldn't find the back of net, and the Islanders have been playing good. Okay, next. Stevie P says, whenever we start playing the easy part of the schedule and are winning consistently, Grumpy is going to say it's the bad teams. No, not if they play well. It's all about how you play. If you're getting a lucky bounce to score a goal, it's just not. All I'm saying, it's not sustainable. Not sustainable to be playing like this and winning games. If they play against the bad teams, like I just mentioned, and they dominate and lose some, I'm going to say, you know what? It's not a great loss, but they're playing better.
I can't argue about the team. They're winning. Can't argue about them.
Christian Okalski says, we are 30-plus games into the season. At a certain point, the successes can't be attributed to just luck. Okay.
Not all of them. Not all of them are. I will say the Tampa game for certain was a lucky bounce off the boards for a goal, but it was a beautiful goal by Richie.
That was a beautiful goal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll say that game was a little bit of luck involved. Yeah.
Just look at the standings. We're 2 points out of making the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. We're only 2 points.
The division's also really good, though. The division's also really good. It's not like the division.
And everyone said the Metro was going to be down this year.
But they're good. They're really
Metro's
good.
going to be down. But you know what? Next week, we could be in 6th place in the division. And then what's everybody going to say? It's tight. It's really tight. Matthew Sklar says, the fact that we have a stud D-man, a lockdown goalie will speed up this rebuild. True. If we had a stud on the forward group, we'd be cooking with gas. Without doubt. And how do you get those guys? Through the draft. You're not going to be able to pick one up in free agency. JP says, I'm still pretty surprised the Islanders beat the Stars in November in Dallas. Me too, honestly. Empire State says, Frank from Empire State, Watt is implementing his system and it's working. Oh my God. I just, okay, next.
I'm just saying the results are showing for the team. They're winning games. They're getting more points.
And they're being outplayed. That's all I'm saying. They're being outplayed. Yes, they're getting results. They're being outplayed. Eventually hopefully they'll play better.
Eventually can never come. It's more of these
ifs. And it could be that we don't get any more points. That's possibility too, right?
That's not happening.
JP says the Ducks are really good. Interesting game tomorrow.
That'll be a game we win. That'll be a game we win, though. The
Ducks can score.
Yep.
But the Islanders are going to have opportunities to score too. Yep. The Ducks will put the puck in the net. What have the Ducks done besides bringing in Joel Quenneville? All those years, drafting those guys in the first round, never trading out, moving their asset at the deadline every single year. All those guys, Carlson, Seneke, they're all coming up together as a young group. They have such a good mix of veteran and young players. It's a great mix. You have like 7 or 8 guys who are under 24 who are consistent performers for the team. And then you have 5 guys in particular who are performing really well, the Kreiders, the Trubas, who are in their 30s. It's a good mix for the organization. And they're in great salary cap shape. And they got Quenneville. And Dostal's a good goalie too. I mean, will they be able to keep it up all year? I don't know, because it's tough to score that many goals all year long. I think that's the toughest thing, is to score the goals the way they're in the bunches that they're able to score them in. When they don't score, they don't win. You say that about everybody, but the Ducks are a team, they need to put the puck in the net. Jake said, I want to hear the Grumpy say the Islanders thoroughly dominated the best team in the league, the Colorado Avalanche. I didn't see the game, so I cannot comment on it.
Just say it anyway, Grumpy. Just say it anyway.
I didn't see it.
There might not be another chance. Just say it anyway.
Well, there probably won't be another chance. You know what I can absolutely say? They never dominate the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, my God. You're so negative.
I'm just saying. JP says the trade deadline is going to be huge for a lot of teams this year, as there are legit parity throughout most of the leagues. I agree with that 100% with JP. There are teams that are, and Toronto might be a team. Toronto could want somebody like J.G. Pajot. I mean, let's say you give us a young player and a second-round pick for J.G. Pajot. I think that's worth doing. A young guy with the Marlies or something who's stuck behind, their top 6 who aren't going anywhere in the forward group. Maybe something like, Brock Nelson, we got for Brock Nelson last year, a first-round pick, and, Callum Ritchie. I mean, I'm all for doing trades like that all day long. We'll see. I agree, though, with parity around the league for certain. I love Brownie says, I'm not sold either, Grump. The division is just too close right now. Couple of games losing streak, and a team can go from first to last. Yeah, that's the one thing about this year, and particularly with all the ties, it drives me crazy. Everybody's bunched up. Everybody's bunched up. That's why the Thanksgiving thing, which has always been a good,
it's a mute point now. A
point of saying who's going to make playoffs. You just couldn't say.
Yep.
Because everybody was like a point or two one another. Christian Okalski says, what would have been a better outcome? Barely making the playoffs or barely miss the playoffs? Assume Darsh is focused long-term, sustainable success in either case. Missing the playoffs is better than making the playoffs. Why? Because then you're going to be in the lottery to potentially move up in the draft. That's the only reason. If there was no lottery, there's almost not a difference.
It doesn't matter about the lottery. I've already told you about the lottery in sports. It is absolutely fixed.
Okay. Well, if Pittsburgh makes playoffs, they're not in the lottery to get Gavin McKenna.
They'll figure out some loophole.
Okay. Frank says, Grumpy old man, BS. We beat all the top teams. It's not the same. You're wrong again. Drouin, Ritchie, Henneman, Schaefer, Horvat, Barzal on fire. We're not the same team. Okay. Henneman's on fire. He had his first goal in how many games yesterday in the shootout? I'll wait.
He's partially on fire right now. He's going to start heating up.
He's not on fire.
He's going to start heating up, Grumpy.
Horvat's been good all year long.
Barzal's been playing well.
And Barzal's been playing well. Schaefer's been great. Richie. Okay.
Hopefully he's starting to take form, though. Hopefully he's starting to take form. Hopefully the goal gave him confidence.
He plays 11 minutes a night. He's okay. And I'm not disappointed in Callum Ritchie. But you can't say that, oh man, when Callum Ritchie's out there, he's driving play. It's just not true. You see flashes of what he can do, but he's not consistent. And Drouin has been okay. Isn't he hurt? Is he even playing now or is he hurt? I don't even know. Is he even out now? I don't even know. But he's been okay. Nothing special. And I like Jonathan Drouin. I thought it was a good signing. This team is not on fire. They're not on fire. Sorry, you're wrong. Sorry, Frank. Wrong again, as usual, as per the usual. Next, X. Drew says, if there's anyone who's Josh Bailey 2.0 on this team currently, is Jonathan Drouin. Yeah, he doesn't score. He likes to skate around in circles. That's okay because you need guys who can set other guys up.
Drew in his back has a back injury in his day to day.
Okay, so he's not been playing. So I mean, how can you say he's on fire? What? You can't make the club from the tub, right? Isn't that what that old saying from
That's very
Bill
true.
Parcells?
Yep.
So I mean, I thought he was out, but I mean, you even see flashes occasionally from Anthony Duclair. I mean, to me, Anthony Duclair and Jonathan Drouin and Callum Ritchie, they've all been basically the same guy this year. Who has more upside? Well, it's obvious Callum Ritchie, right? Plays a tougher position. You're seeing him get a little bit of PK time, a little bit of power play time. That's what you want. That's why I want him in the minors till the trade deadline when you move Pajot. Let him load up on there so he can step in and be better than he is now, get more than 11 minutes a night. You want him to play more minutes. It's about the young guys playing more so that they're ready in the future. It's not about this year. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. It's not about this year. It's about next year and the year after. That's what it's about. You got the lottery pick. You got – I'll draw a comparison to the New England Patriots. They had Drake May last year. They couldn't win shit, but you could tell the kid had talent. All of a sudden, they get a new coach, get a couple other players, and all of a sudden, the kid's taking a second-year jump. And I don't think the New England Patriots are a great team. They hit hard, but are they Super Bowl contenders? Probably not. But they're going to make playoffs, and the Drake May kid's special. Wait till you see Matthew Schaefer next year. You think he's good this year? Wait till next year.
He's only going to get better as he continues to play.
Wait till we get some more assets on the front lines going forward. Then you're going to see how lightning and incredible he is when he has other guys to play with.
The only thing that concerns me, though, is by the time those assets come in, will Sorokin be as good as he is now?
He's, what is he, 30? He's fine for the next. Okay. The next 2 or 3 years for the Islanders, next 2 or 3 years, they should be, okay, we're ready to go. We're going to be a team like Carolina, who's in the hunt every year, or, Tampa or Florida. Teams are in the hunt every single year.
Now, let me ask at that 2 to 3 year mark, and you feel like the team's going in that direction. Let's say they make the playoffs. Would you trade away some future picks to try and get, some better talent on the team?
It depends on where you are. It depends on where you are. If your team is like Colorado this year or Dallas,
you're going to be trading for picks. Yeah,
absolutely. That's when you move picks.
Or players. Sorry. Yeah.
When you have a core that is like 22, 23, 24 years old, that's when you move picks for veterans, for guys that can put you over the hump. Oh, we need a net front presence. Okay, let's move a first-round pick for that. Now is not the time for that. Just isn't.
Now's the time to rebuild.
Right. And like I said, the Schaefer kid has expedited that, and the team is, getting results right now. They are. Great. Let's not lose sight. The team isn't any different with the exception of Schaefer than it was last year.
Well, I'll say I think it's a combination of things too. I think it's also Sorokin getting the new goalie coach under him and is performing a lot better than he did previously.
Yes, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah. So I think that's also playing a big part too.
Right. But who's the player who's made the difference in the team this year? Mostly. You would say
I'd say it's both of them. I mean, I think it's both of them.
You could say Sorokin regaining some of his form, but Schaefer is the difference. He's the difference. I'd say they both have contributed a good amount. Right. Schaefer's he's the motor though. He's the motor.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
The team runs through him. Yeah, sure.
And like I said, Cale Makar, I think he's better than Cale Makar. If you put
you've been on the record saying that.
If you put Matthew Schaefer on Colorado, his numbers are just as good as Cale Makar. And because he's going to play with Nathan McKinnon, who's probably going to win MVP. He's just been that good this year. I mean, you put him with Nathan McKinnon, holy crap. I mean, now you're it's like, oh my gosh. And he's better defensively than Makar is, just is. Bigger.
Did you read this comment?
No. David Shaw McDonald says, Let's not forget 2 to 3 seasons ago, nobody thought we'd be remotely close to where we're at now. I've been waiting 30 plus years for the direction of this franchise to change for the better. That's what happens when you get a Matthew Schaefer.
Yep.
Barzy says, 13 says, Grumpy, I love you, but should never give the Islanders credit at all. When the Islanders do good, you shit on the other team's play or you shit on the goaltending of the other team. When the Islanders lose, it's because they suck. That's not true. All I said was I didn't say that the other team sucked. I said the Islanders were outplayed by Tampa, Florida, and Vegas. And they were. That's all I said. They were outplayed. And playing like that and getting outplayed is not sustainable to racking up points as the year goes on. It's just not. That's all I said. I think the goaltending for us has been and I said this a couple of years ago, we always had the advantage in goal. That's the difference. You're right. Other teams' goaltending sucks compared to ours. That's the case again right now. Ilya Sorokin gives you a chance for 2 points every single night, period. Name the goalie for whoever. Do they always have that opportunity? Carter Hart. Would you rather have Carter Hart or Ilya Sorokin? Okay. He's obviously the goalie advantage. Would you rather have, even though we beat us, Tarasov and net for Florida or Ilya Sorokin?
Sorokin.
Or even Rittich. Tarasov's been pretty good. I'll give him that. He's been pretty good this year. But Rittich has been good too. Would you rather have Ilya Sorokin or Mackenzie Blackwood or Scott Wedgwood for Colorado? You're taking Ilya Sorokin. That's the edge in goaltending we have. Other teams don't have the goaltending we have. Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky didn't play. Johansson played in that game. And I thought Johansson was okay. I mean, he didn't have to do much. But who would you rather have, Johansson or Sorokin? There's a big difference there. When you have that shutdown guy, and we have that guy, and then we have the stud on the fence. The only thing I wish he could play 60 minutes a night. Can't, but I wish he could. Okay, next. Goodwin says, why did Kay Corleone feel it was necessary to lie to Michael afterwards? Did their relationship spiral? Ooh. Well, I think she lied to him because she's scared of him, honestly.
And the relationship was already spiraling.
And yeah, when you're lying to your spouse,
it's not regular.
Good. Your relationship's in trouble. David Sean McDonald says, Grumpy is actually happy, but the Curve has a reputation to uphold.
Oh,
well, it's true.
Yes, stay grumpy.
Frank says he laughs his ass off because he's being a parasite. Yeah, talking about you, X.
I know.
Being a parasite.
I know.
And here's I keep on forgetting. Shabanov has been really good too.
With the exception of that goal he gave up was bad.
Okay.
That was all him.
Okay.
That was all him.
Okay. It's one play.
I know one play. I'm just saying it didn't help.
He's been better than I thought he would be. I thought he would struggle in the physicality of the league. That's not been the case so far. Now, there have been times where he's been snuffed out, and I don't know how he'll be in the playoffs because he's so tiny. But ever since Shabanov replaced Drew on the power play, we look like a competent power play for once. He's really good. That's a good addition by Matthew Darsh. Shabanov, says JP. He's been good. Drew says, to contrary belief, I thought Henneman should have been the one to replace Drew on the power play, but hey, Max skill-wise far superior to Henneman. Well, that's the whole thing. Henneman's not a skill guy. He's a fourth liner. Here's what he is. Christian says, isn't bad curb appeal a natural burglary deterrent?
That's one way. That's one way to look at it.
Nobody wants to rob the shittiest looking house in the neighborhood.
True. That's true. One way to think about it.
David Sean says, I'll take a dumpy looking outside for a beautiful modern interior. Everybody would, except for X.
Okay, there's a difference. I said, when you're trying to sell a house, if somebody pulls up to the front and sees that it looks dilapidated and is falling apart, do you think they're going to be like, yup, this is going to be great going in?
I'm just saying curb appeal is not the most important thing.
It matters, though.
Frank from Empire State says, we aren't great. We are good, but we beat great teams often. Are there any really great teams? I think you could say, and here's the
Colorado is really good.
Tampa Bay is really banged up as well. Tampa Bay's missing their top 3 defensemen. they're really banged up.
When you're consistently beating the top teams in their divisions, I think that you're beating really good teams.
But here's the thing: if they're really injured, the Islanders are missing.
They're still winning games, though, so you can't argue that.
What I'm saying is, if Tampa Bay was just missing a second line winger and a number 6 defenseman, as opposed to their top 3 defensemen and 2 top 6 winger, you would figure that they'd be tougher to beat. Would you not assume that?
Yeah, they'd be tougher to beat.
That's my point.
Well,
I don't like to play the injury
other teams
game.
Are playing against them as well, and they're still losing to them.
Well, yeah, because they're banged up.
Same thing. Every team in the league is banged up except for the Islanders.
But they're outplaying the Islanders regardless.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. The Islanders are still winning. They're finding ways to win.
Okay, but I'm just saying it's not sustainable.
Sure, it's not sustainable.
That's my whole point. That is my only point. That's it.
Islanders are missing a really, really good defenseman, Romanov. Maybe when he comes back,
he was the worst player in the league.
Maybe their defense will spike up when he comes back.
Addition by subtraction. That was great. I don't know. It just seems like ever since he's got hurt, the Islanders have taken off. Go figure that out.
Do you think they tell him, hey, take some more time off? We really want you to recover well?
JP says, I will say that as much as I'm uneasy about the direction of the team being affected by the team this year, but it is fun to watch them so far by and large.
Yeah, they're a fun team to watch.
I love watching Matthew Schaefer on the ice. If I could see the end of the year and then go back in time to watch Schaefer, I'd enjoy him even more. Mark Alberti says, Grumpy can't believe how good the Islanders are. I don't think they're great. I think Matthew Schaefer and Ilya Sorokin have been phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think that's the difference. That is the difference. Those two guys. Can you ride to the playoffs on a goaltender and a defenseman? I don't know. They just got to keep winning games. You got to keep winning, right, X? What do I always say?
Got to keep
winning. You're winning, you're in.
Yep.
You're winning, you're in.
That's the thing. And they keep doing it. They keep surprising us week in, week out.
Well, no, because then they'll have a shitty week and, they're consistently inconsistent. That's all. That's all. They're in third place in the division. They're 2 points out of not even making the playoffs. It's not like they're Colorado. Okay, Frank says, laugh my ass. They're not grumpy old man. Come on, we beat so many freaking great. There's one great team in the league, Colorado. I think that you can say one great team. Doesn't that make us a good team? I'm not saying we're not playing well.
I'm just going to say
we're not playing well.
Comment on your previous statement, though.
It's the same team with the exception of Schaefer that we had last year and the year before. The same team that didn't make the playoffs. Same exact team.
To comment on your previous statement before, they're only 3 points out of being in first place in the division. So
that's right.
I mean, I'm just saying the division's super close.
Okay, but all the other teams also have games in hand on us.
I know that. They could lose those games. You never know.
Matters. Okay, so 2 points behind. You think in 3 games, if a team gets 3 points, then we're behind, right? If they have 3 of those ridiculous overtime ties in, I'm going on a personal crusade to get rid of that. I hate it.
That's never happening.
Overtime. Hate it. Used to love it, but I hate it now. Mark Alberti says the Islanders outplayed Vegas. No, they did not. Sorry. In the second period, they did. I thought they were a better team in the second, not in the first or the third. This is Alexander says, good evening, gents. Guys, the Islanders are a very good team, and the Islanders are fun again.
They're fun to watch.
I will say, and Al Somalis, they're still missing pieces yet. Are they a fun team to watch? Number 48 is fun to watch. I enjoy every time he's on the ice, he's the only guy I really watch. I want to see him get the puck. And I can honestly say the Islanders have never had anyone as talented as he is on their roster ever. Dennis Potvin was great on the back end, but for just when he gets the puck, everybody sits on their edge of the seats. They've never had a guy like that. Never have. So few of them in the history of the game. So few. Next. Alexander says, guys, we could be the Rangers and average 2 goals a game. Yeah, the Rangers, but the Rangers are pretty good on the road. They just suck at home.
Which is so strange.
It is strange. Mark Alberti says, we might be in first place after Saturday's game.
Could be.
Is no one else playing in the league? I don't know.
Oh, grumpy.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I think the chance of us being in 5th place is greater than us being in 1st place. Freedom Fundamental says Johnson will be gentle with the Islanders, but Anaheim has another enforcer, plenty of rough guys with size and guys like Gudis and Truba who try to injure other players. The Islanders must pray and sadly submit. No, I don't. See, I don't find Anaheim to be a dirty team. They're physical, but the Islanders can play physically as well. And the Islanders win the goaltending matchup, period. They win the goaltending matchup. Today. I don't know why, X.
Your mic is like going in and out. You might just want to disconnect it and go to the other audio.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll just do it like this for now.
Yeah, you can write it out.
Yeah. Frank says we're playing with house money, X-Man. We can't lose no matter what happens.
The only thing we could potentially do is continue to win, make the playoffs, and then not trade guys, which I would consider us losing. That's the last thing I want to see happen. If we end up making the playoffs and we still decide to trade, Lee and JG Pajot, great. You know what? I'm all for it. 100%.
Well, you got to make those deals before you make the playoffs, though.
But yeah, exactly. Trade them at the trade deadline. Yeah.
And that should not change. That should just be
stay on the charted course.
David Sean McDonald says the goal before the season started was to see improvements and to have our prospects grow. We're taking steps in the right direction. It's a process. The attitude of the boys this year is night and day. 100% agree with David Sean McDonald, and particularly the last thing that he mentioned, which I forgot now when X took down so quick. Doesn't matter. The enthusiasm with the boys, and that's all because of Schaefer. It's so obvious it's him. It's that young energy in the room. Alexander says if they're in a playoff position, they won't be unloading assets. Well, then it's a fail. They need
to get rid of guys.
Then it's a fail. Alexander says Lee is going to be back on a 2-year deal after the season. That's fine by me. So you want a guy who's going to be 38 years old on your team. Okay. I'm saying no to that.
Because here's the thing. After his 2-year deal, what are you going to get for him?
Nothing. Okay. What are his numbers this year, X?
I could look it up.
Anders Lee. Why don't you pull up his stats for the year? I'm interested because I think they're down. They're way down. Next comment. Dan Miller says Horvat is kicking butt so far. He has been really. This is the best he's ever played for the Islanders. He's shooting a lot more this year. His shooting percentage is dropping like we knew it would, but he's shooting so many more shots this year that he's going to have more opportunities to put the puck in the net. And I thought for certain he was going to score that in the overtime last night. If I was betting money, seeing him when what's his name missed that third shot, I'm like, man, Horvat's absolutely going to score. Okay, JP says, okay, so what's Lee doing this year, X? 16 points in 31 games. Okay, that's it. So he's absolutely gone downhill, right? That's compared to last year. 6 goals. 6 goals.
Yep.
You want to sign somebody like that back for 2 years. Okay. He moves like a glacier out there. No. You move him to a playoff contender. Teams will take a flyer on Anders Lee. You move him at the deadline. You get an asset or two for him. And then if you want to resign him to a 1-year deal, I'm not signing anybody who's 36 years old to 2-year deals. 1-year deal at like $1 million per, because you're not going to get the money that you just made off.
Sign him to a prove it deal.
I mean, if you want to be here that bad, you're going to have to take a haircut. That's the way I look at it.
Yep.
Period. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Fine.
Agreed.
Then you see it if you're an Islander for life. Same thing with JG Pajot. There's no way either one of those guys should be on this team at the deadline. No way. No freaking way. JP says, I agree 100% with Grumpy about having a long-term plan instead of putting too much stock in this year's team. That's the whole thing. As long as you keep your eye on the prize, the long-term prize, I don't care about the results of this year. I do not. I don't want to see them change for chasing a playoff spot. Just don't want to see it. JP says Montreal has much bigger problems right now than Dobson. Dobson's not the problem for Montreal. Sorry. And who cares about Noah Dobson?
He's not on the team. Who cares about him? He's gone. Gone. See you later. Dan LaShawn says, very excited about Cal Rich, and I know he gets the attention from the goal in Tampa, but he's been playing really well, especially on the defensive side of the puck. He just doesn't play a whole lot.
And I'll say when you're putting up a highlight like that, that's usually what's going to get the attention for you.
But see, that's why do people look at that? Because the Islanders are a team that lacks high-end skill.
Well, I think if anybody scored a goal like that, it's going to get, it's going to be on a highlight reel.
Not everyone can score goals like that.
No,
that's a high-end skill move. Yeah. How many guys are able to put the puck between their leg and top shelf it on a goalie like that on a shot coming off the boards?
While you're moving. While you're moving, too.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, it's tough.
And here's the thing. If he turns into a second-line center, the Islanders did really well in that Brock Nelson trade, right?
Yep.
Freedom Front Rancher says, Grumpy, we're just leaving Publix, and I brought my cart back inside. Does SunX do that on Sunday nights, or does he just leave it in the driveway? Here's the thing. He could have brought the water into the house because we had to purchase more water because so much of it disappears when X and TJ come over the house for Sunday dinners. And would he even bring it in the house? I have to haul it out of the car and bring it in the garage into the house. You figure X could have done that, but no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why not, X?
You know what? I don't want to hear your nonsense.
Sounds like no excuse for X. Okay.
Oops, sorry. Oops. Hold on.
What are Callum Ritchie's? Can you look at Callum Ritchie's numbers too? Just pull him up real quick.
Yeah.
Drew says, I also don't think Marty St. Louis is a good coach. I don't either. That's topic for another day. Yeah, he's not. I don't know how he still got a job there. Probably because he speaks French, Canadian, as well as English. That's like a prerequisite for them getting a coach, which is dumb, right? Next comment, Frank says, yeah, we should still trade Lee and Pajot, even if we're in the playoff hunt. Yeah, 100% agree. Freedom adds, SunX is going to take the Parasite deal for certain. Grumpy, I know Baby Liza calls him Uncle Cheapo. What does she call everyone else? Dog Z. Well, she calls Dog Z Bean. And
that's right.
She actually calls X by his name, but it has like at the end. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it show ice time here?
I don't know if I can drag this.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Average ice time. He's averaging, is that 10 minutes and 22 seconds a game?
Where is it that you see that? Sorry.
Total on ice.
Oh, yeah. 10-22 a game.
Okay. See, that's, you kind of want to, his face-off percentage is 47%. Okay. I mean, he's got 10 points in 21 games.
Yep.
Can you go back there he is. Three goals, 3 assists. That's what I'm saying. He's not lighting it up. I would have much rather have had him in the minors playing 20 minutes a night. But you know what? Injuries preclude that from happening. It's not like he's going back down, right? He's not going to be going back down. I just don't want to see him get demoted to fourth line duty when Pajot comes back. It's about him developing as a player going forward. It's not about this year. Just isn't. Okay. Frank says he's not a fourth liner. He's a top 6 in physical. He won the freaking game for us yesterday. Grumpy old man. Oh my God. Okay. He scored it. He scored a shootout goal. Talk about Emil Henneman. Put up Emil Henneman's numbers. And I want to see his numbers over the last 10 games. Bring up the logs. Because he ain't been scoring shit. Because guess what? He's going to settle back down to what he is. Well, he'll probably have 15, 16 goals this year. I mean, he plays on the first line. He's playing with a guy who's on fire in Bo Horvat. You'd think he'd be a little bit better. I'm not saying, again, not saying Emil Henneman sucks. I'm just saying he's not a first-line player. Mark Alberti says Pajot is good for Holmstrom, and he might have another decent 4 years. Well, he can take that somewhere else. He's 33 years old. I'm not signing guys who are 33 years old. Drew says, chat, we all know Grumpy is in secret hugs his David Reinbacher body pillow, which he goes to sleep.
While he goes to sleep.
Yep, I do. I wanted Dave Reinbacher. I did. Why? Because it helps us in a position that we really need, which is right shot defenseman. Again, big picture. I'm looking big picture. I'm not looking some ham and egger fourth liner loaded with them. Loaded. Alexander says, I don't think they will lose to Carolina, honestly. I think this team is better than Carolina. Alexander, you realize you say that every single year, and Carolina proves you wrong every single year. Carolina is way better. They're in another stratosphere than the Islanders.
If Carolina was a little bit more physical, they would probably win the cup or be in the finals every year.
They need better goaltending, but their goaltending is fine for the regular season. It's just not, and it's fine in the first round or two of the playoffs. But guess what? It's not good enough to win Stanley Cup.
Nope.
Just isn't.
Whereas we have that piece.
That's right. We have that piece. Absolutely. JP says, man, if they could get a hole for Horvat, I'd do that tomorrow, honestly. It's not happening. It's not happening. Thomas Antonetti says, good evening, gents. This back and forth, up and down season has me thinking more than ever. We have to be sellers at the deadline to stabilize the roster and give us consistency on the front and back end. Yes.
Yep.
See, you can always count on Thomas Antonetti to be rational and logical. A lot of fans are not logical. They're excited because the Islanders have 37 points through 31 games, and they think, let's throw a ticker tape parade. No, come on. Meatball Parm says, I was wrong about Sorokin. He got back in form the moment they brought in his goalie coach. Not right away. It was like maybe 2 or 3 games in. Liam Pajot have to go, say JP. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Thomas Anthony says, we must resist the temptation to trade to address needs now, plugging holes for mediocrity and build through the draft and free agent signings to build long-term successful sustainability. 100% agree. I think the thing that's going to hurt us when it comes to free agents is everyone has salary cap money now. And the salary cap is going up, 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 up. So it's going to be tougher. And we saw it last year. Last year should have been a really good free agent year, but everyone re-signed all their guys, and you're seeing it. It's going to be, the cap is going up again a ridiculous amount this year, and they just announced league revenues are way higher than even expected. So in the future, the cap's going to be going up even more. Interesting. Drew says, did X get proper lighting? His room all of a sudden looks brighter.
X got a new computer. So the camera is substantially better on this computer than the other one.
Maybe you should put the light on too.
What do you mean? I have proper lighting. You just heard.
Drew says Holmstrom is what he is. He had an opportunity to showcase what he could do alongside Barzal and sucked. Well, he's a bottom 6 guy. You know what? I should just stick with what I think initially and just move on from there. I wanted him to be successful. I saw him do things last year where he tried to elevate his game, be more physical along the boards, where maybe he could be a top 6 player, but he's not. He's a bottom 6 guy, and you want more than that with your number 1 pick. Connor McMichael is better than he is. Of the 3 amigos, Connor McMichael is the best. That was TJ's guy. Mine was Philip Tomasino. To me, he is Simon Holmstrom, basically same guy. And then Kaliev is busted out. So,
and Drew says he's a third liner, plain and simple.
Yeah. Weather and Aviation says, guys, we are starting to lose after that road trip after JG Pajot went down. I like his PK skills and his shorthand goal expert. I wouldn't trade him this year. Why not? He's an integral part of the team. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He goes wherever he wants. You don't keep those guys.
My thing is, if the team is going nowhere, he's an integral part to a team that's going to achieve nothing. Like at that point in time, there's no need to keep him.
He's 33 years old. He's on the downside. You trade guys like that for draft picks. That's what you do. That is what you do. That's it. You move guys like that at the deadline. That's what you do. Fleet Dream says no matter what position we are in April, Darsh has to move Pajot. Lee, on the other hand, would you trade him or sign him for very cheap? Trade him. Trade him. And then guess what? If you want him back that bad, you make him an offer in the offseason. And if he gets an offer better somewhere else, see you later. Guess what? He wasn't a true Islander anyway. If he says he wants to be here, he's gonna have to take a haircut.
I hate to say it, these players are only loyal to one thing, and that's money.
And I don't blame them.
No, I don't either. You have only a certain, and I say the same thing for football, the same thing for baseball, all sports. You have a short amount of time where you can make money, that kind of money, and you need to capitalize when you can.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
And that's the only thing they're loyal to at the end of the day is they want money.
That's right.
Yep.
Frank from Empire State says, damn, X-Man, my daughter would have got that Led Zeppelin.
Sorry.
He knows nothing about music. Nothing.
Failing. It was Reese Witherspoon was who it was with Butch Goring. Reese Witherspoon.
That was Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah. Didn't look like her, but yeah.
I did not even recognize. I did not recognize her at all.
Yep.
Here's the thing, X. You kind of just blast through it and shake it up and down. So I don't even really know what it was. I'm like, who is that? I don't know. You didn't leave it up for like half a second. I don't know.
Are you really living up to that old portion in your name?
No, whatever, dude. I tell you to put focus on it, you don't. You're just moving it all the time. It's like a shaky picture. I got to try to figure it out. Frank from Empire State says, wasn't Greco a goalie whisperer, though? I bet it was a language barrier. Every goalie's different.
Yeah. And it could have been a language barrier. It could have been.
Pierre Greco is a very good goaltender coach. He just didn't click with Sorokin. That's fine. That's fine. You have to find the guy who works with your goalie.
Yep.
Francois Allaire, Roberto Luongo thought he was the greatest thing ever. Other goalies didn't think he was that good. It's you have to make the connection with the player. That's the most important thing. JP says we're 5 to 10 years away. I disagree with that. I do.
He says I'll say 5 to 8 to be fair.
I mean, we can be good. But everything, you don't know how many of these players are going to be, all the prospects are going to develop. They're not all going to develop. So, I mean, that's why you need more kicks at the can. They say, if you're lucky if you have 30% of your prospects pan out, which is really good, particularly in the first 2 rounds. Well, if we can get that, maybe we already have one in the first round this year in Schaefer. We hope to have another one. I think if we get one of Eklund and Aitchison, who can be solid contributors, that's a successful draft.
Yep.
I mean, is Yzerman going to be a guy who pans out for us? I don't know. He's not as good this year as he was last year. I mean, let's see before you write his name on the lineup card. Danny Nelson. I don't know. Sounds like a bottom sixer to me. You need bottom 6 guys too. Second round if he pans out. I'm all for that. Is there anybody else in the minors where you say, man, that's a guy? Not yet. That's all we're hoping for. Drew says Butch fired back again and cooked him. Yeah, just Butch, don't attack him. It's lose-lose. And maybe he just won't pick on you because they're going to say, stop picking on Butch Goring, bitch. Maybe that's what they'll say. Trade Lee, says Mark Alberti. Absolutely. Frank says, the score says, yes, they're a winning team, grumpy old man. LOL. Okay. Let's see what they are at the end of the year. NS Canada. I don't know what the NS stands for. The Islanders should trade.
I think it stands for NASCAR.
Oh, NASCAR maybe. Canada. Okay.
So it looks like, or maybe that's Formula One. It looks like the
picture.
It doesn't look.
It's not NASCAR X.
Maybe Formula One close to NASCAR. Maybe NASCAR.
It's not close. Look at the cars. Even I can tell those are not stock cars. X. The Islanders should trade Pajot, Lee, even in a player spot. Don't cost the future to win now. Exactly.
Yep.
That's all I care about.
Yep.
Lou Lamoriello was so interested in chasing the playoff, number 8 playoff spot.
He was interested in doing that to keep his job.
Well, but he sacrificed the future of the team.
Well, he didn't care as long as he had employment.
Yeah, well,
if I'm being honest, he didn't care one bit about the fan base. He didn't care about how the team performed. As long as he kept his job, that's all he cared about. Him and his kid.
Fredo.
Yep.
Fredo Lamoriello. Next. Oh, you're getting a minimum of 2 first-round picks for Page only. I'd be ecstatic. And they don't all have to be next year. Even if you get, okay, we'll give you a 2027 and a 2028. That's fine. I'm more than willing to have multiple first-round picks for multiple years. That's fine. It's about building the prospect pool. So when the guys do age out, you have guys to fill in to replace. Right now, we do not have that. Just don't. Fleet Dream says Rick DiPietro just scored a goal as a forward in the Shoresy Classic. Is he still being paid by the Islanders? I think he's done getting paid by the Islanders.
Oh my God.
Thomas Antonetti says Grumpy and Son X, Godfather or Godfather 2?
The first one.
First one's better. The second was outstanding though too. They're two of the top 5 movies of all time. Godfather, the original, is number 1 for me, and Godfather 2 is, man.
People say Citizen Kane is number 1.
It's not. It's not. People who actually watch them don't say that.
Okay.
Okay. Who's the one putting out the list? Who's the one putting
film critics? Film critics? People who get paid to do it?
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. Godfather's been.
Oh, so you're saying that?
And I'm not saying Citizen Kane sucked, but it's not the Godfather.
You think that they're taking some side money to put Citizen Kane as number 1?
I think it's real easy. I think it's real easy to say, oh, it's Citizen Kane, because that's what everyone's been saying for, since 1940 or whatever year it came out, 1941. And it was a financial bust at the time, right? Because Randolph Hearst, who was ostensibly written about as a piece of fiction, he had the power of being a newspaper man. He tried to squash that film. He tried to buy it. Orson Welles said, no, no, no. But it did not make money, and it did not win any awards. Maybe screenplay. But it should have, How Green Was My Valley won Best Picture that year, which is a movie that I love, by the way, and I feel gets unfairly maligned when people say, well, Citizen Kane won Best Picture. How Green Was My Valley was a damn good movie directed by John Ford. Damn good. Every year it's on, I watch that movie. Great movie about family. Great movie. Family movies, movies about families are so relatable. They just are. Godfather was a movie about family. More than anything else, a movie about family.
It's also a movie about murder.
Yeah, well. SSE says, unless the Islanders look like a legit contender, you trade Lee and Pajot. You trade them anyway. Move them. And as Canada says, at least they had a better record at this point of the season compared to previous years. That they have.
That's true.
Against, I would say, a
more difficult competition
games as well. Mark Elberry says, we were not dominated by Vegas, not in the second period, but in the first and third. The Ducks Thursday, bad news for the Ducks.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Bad. What's it mean for what the bad news bears used to say? We got the Athletics on Thursday. What does it mean? Bad news for the Athletics. You know what? Matthew Schaefer's like Kelly Leak. That's what he's like.
Oh my God. Best kid in the league.
They brought in Amanda, right, to pitch Tatum O'Neal. And, she was keeping them in games like Ilya Sorokin. Then they bring in Matthew Schaefer, a.k.a. Kelly Leak, and there's no stopping them.
Dum, 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 dum.
Bad News Bears. Great, great, great movie. And anyone who ever wants to be a coach of youth athletics needs to watch that movie. It's so true. Frank from Empire State says, you keep your stars, have the goalie and sell tickets too. Yes, that's a factor. Loser lost us $25 million. I was worried we wrote gonna move Case.
We weren't going to move Casey.
That a-hole don't market. I don't understand some of the words.
Doesn't market the players, I guess.
Somebody check Frank, make sure his pulse is still there. I'm worried about it. Those words did not make any sense at the end. Would you not agree?
It tailed off a little bit at the end. Your mic cut out again, Grumpy. He can't hear you. You might just have to unplug the mic. You muted yourself. Oh my gosh. Okay. And this one is from David S. says, I became a fan in 84, 85, so I am confident that I've lived through the maximum amount of suffering possible. That's why I'm happier than most. That's very true. Let's add Grumpy back in here. Hello, you're back.
Yeah, I'm just going with the
Standard. Just go with it. Yeah, you were having issues with it to start the show.
Yeah. Okay. It's done. I'm done with that now.
Yeah, over it.
Mark Elbers, how's TJ doing? He's doing well. Very well.
Yep.
Thank you. SSC says Patrick has done a nice job without Lou holding him back. Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened there. But like I said, the team is playing hard for him. Schaefer he's like injected. It's like getting a B12 shot for the team. His enthusiasm, his exuberance at being 18 has it's infected the team in a positive way. Drew says, this is the roster Lou gave me, Patrick Waugh, in the fall of 2024. Yeah, there was problems there. I think that's fair to say. Jeremy Ford. See, yeah, something's wrong, X, because that's not Jeremy's usual call sign there. Do you think coming in with Schaefer takes a lot of the spotlight and pressure off a guy like Richie? Absolutely. Yep. No one, except for people who listen to this show or, are really avid watchers of the Islanders, they don't care about Callum Richie. The regular fan on the street, Callum Richie, they don't care.
They care about number 48.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is they don't even realize he's on the team. I'm sure they realize he's on the team, but there's no pressure on him. And like I said, whoever the next number one draft pick is, if he makes the team, he's going to unfortunately be compared to Schaefer. Oh, geez, he's not like Matthew Schaefer. He must suck. No, Matthew Schaefer is a freaking unicorn.
Once in a lifetime.
He's a unicorn. Yep. The Islanders have a unicorn. That's it. Frank says, yep. I say, oh, my God, about you, Grumpy. They destroyed Colorado, Grumpy Old Man. Go watch it. I can't. I don't have it anymore. Drew says, at this point, I'm going to message Phil. LOL. We need someone to challenge Grumpy. He can't roam free being a tyrant.
Whoa.
Let me tell you something. Phil agrees with a lot more with me than you think. When he's on Twitter, he's a totally different animal. That's all I'm saying. Frank says, we have a great mix of veterans and young guys also.
That was ad-lib.
We don't need to see it was 6-3. What do you need to see? It was 6-3. I didn't see the game. I can't comment on a game I didn't see. That's why I said it's either they outplayed them or Colorado's goaltender was dog shit. I don't know. I didn't see the game. That's all I said. No reason to lose your mind. I said I cannot comment on something I didn't see. Unlike a lot of Islander fans. That's all I say. David Shaw McDonald says, geez, that's great. Everyone bunched up. At least we're right at the top after Thanksgiving. We're not looking up at the bunch up. True.
Yep.
True. And as Canada says, most likely the Islanders won't win the lottery again. That's also true. But the higher you pick,
we're not winning it next year. I told you that one's already going to the Pens.
Dan LeChan says, and Dan, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Sorry. Cal Ritchie has a Corsi of 51.7 and a Fenwick of 51.3. He's holding his own. He doesn't play really in high pressure minutes for the most part. So Mark Alberti says, who sits when Drouin comes back? You probably see Mark Gatcomb sit.
Yes.
And they'll figure out the rest. Freedom Fundamental says, Sunex, Drouin he's got some points. Not a whole lot of goals, but he got some secondary assists like Josh Bailey. You're not going to sit him. He's not going to sit. Freedom Fundamental says, Sunex, the way the Islanders add talent is by trading older assets or younger guys now aren't part of the future. Bring back picks and younger players, but this year still is all about the draft position.
Yep.
JP says, Grumpy, if Darch trades Pajot to the Leafs at the deadline, I'd hope for Tyler Hopkins playing for Kingston and the O, and at least a second, if not one. That's fine. I'm not even going to pretend to know what Toronto's prospect pool is like. But if you can get yourself a young player, prospect,
I think it's worth it.
And a pick, you're doing well for yourself for a 33-year-old third-line center. You just are. David Shaw McDonald says, let me say this about Shape Daddy. Oh, my gosh. X, have you called him Shape Daddy on the show?
I think I have one time, but I was the one who coined that. I was not the one who
X calls him Shape Daddy all the time.
Yeah.
His mental strength, maturity, hockey IQ, there's no doubt playing in the NHL level was the absolute right move. All Shafe Daddy needs is put on muscle. I cannot agree more.
Yep.
I did not think, okay, selfishly, and I'll say it again, selfishly, I wanted him to play in juniors so he'd play a year against older players and just get physically stronger because he only played 22 total games last year. I didn't want to see him run out of gas halfway through the season, and it might still happen. That said, he's far and away the best player on our team, him and Sorokin, right? Far and away. Freedom Fund Adventure goes, Grumpy, only a 16-year-old age difference between baby Liza and Schaefer. How delighted would you be if they got married? I'm not touching that one.
I'm not even thinking about that. That was funny, though. That was funny. It made me laugh.
SSE says Darsh has to continue to make smart moves for the future. True. That's why I don't judge him on last year. I'm judging on this deadline and off-season going forward.
In the draft coming up.
Yeah. But he doesn't really make the draft picks. It's the scouts tell him who. But I like what they've done the last couple of years in the draft as opposed to previous years. They haven't gone off the board.
Did they get new scouts?
I think they're the same guys, but maybe they got different. Maybe it's just like, hey, we're going to be picking guys where they're supposed to be. We're not going to reach for a guy like Simon.
You're not taking flyers on some, random kid who played well in one game.
Right. Or, who was always hurt, like Holmstrom.
Yeah.
Where you could have got him in the second round. It's just dumb. Just dumb. Freedom Fund Ranch says, to follow up on the Barzy comment, I'm certain Sonics and TJ would confirm it's challenging to get praise from Grumpy. Is it challenging to get praise from me, X? Or do I give you, when you earn the praise, I give it to you. But if you do something stupid, you get
no. Here's what it is. It's half. It's a half praise. It's like, yeah, you do what you're supposed to. That's what it is. It's never like, oh yeah, you did a really good job. It's you do what you're supposed to.
Oh, you brushed your teeth. Good for you.
Oh no, not that. No,
like that, right?
No, I could be over here. I could find a cure for cancer. Well, good. That's what you're supposed to do.
Isn't that what you gone to school and get trained for?
No, not me.
David Shaw McDonald says, can we talk about how Wah got his psycho back? Well, I think that was from our boy Rantanen, right? Made him angry.
Yep.
You got to get angry.
You got to get mean.
If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. If you could dodge traffic, you could dodge a ball. Drew says, crazy what happens when Lou doesn't have you in a chokehold, David.
Yep.
And Frank from Empire State says, the Islanders are banged up. No, they're not. They're not. Jeremy Ford says, who would you say is comparable for Shabanov? What do you think his ceiling is? He should be a top 6 forward. He should. I don't think he's super fast. He's shifty. He's not aggressive. I mean, but I like him. He's creative. He's a throwback to the old Russian era. He absolutely is. Those guys who could, maybe not the fastest, but man, they were sharp on their edges. They see the ice really well. He's been really good. Really good. No complaints about Shabanov. I forget about him, particularly when he's on the ice because I'm like, is that Matthew Schaefer? Oh no, it's Shabanov. They got 48 and 49. He's been really good. Very pleasant. Young guy, right? Great signing by Darsh. Great signing. Freedom Fund Event says, Grumpy, homeboy. I don't know. Missing 2 series regulars and Palmieri and Romanoff for the season and Pajot for a while longer. That's 3 really good regulars. Romanoff is finding his game again. It's okay to be happy. Okay, Romanoff blows. He was the worst player in the league. It's addition by subtraction.
And yeah, he's not pretty good.
Palmieri was just okay. Okay? Every team has injuries. Lots of injuries. You know how I know? Look at my fantasy teams. Half my guys are hurt at one time or another. David Shaw McDonald says, a burglar wouldn't think twice about robbing my dumpy-looking home. Son X's $1 million looking facade on the other side. Not looking good there, XE boy.
I do not have $1 million looking facade.
Jeremy Ford says, is there a better goalie in 1D man tandem than Sorokin and Schaefer? See, Jeremy always asks good questions.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, I'm going to say Schaefer's cooled off a little bit, but Sorokin, I'm just trying to think of goaltenders who've been really good this year and who their number one defensemen are. Vasilevsky has been okay. I don't think he's been really good, but Hedman's been hurt. But that's a good goalie tandem. I mean, Blackwood or Wedgwood and McCarr have been good. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. He's absolutely that goaltender and number one D-man tandem is
Top
in the
three in the league.
conversation. It's in the conversation because I mean, Shesterkin and Fox. I mean, Shesterkin's probably better than Sorokin, but I think that Schaefer is better than Fox overall. And here's the thing. In a year or two, it's not even a conversation. It's only because he's 18, he might hit the wall. That's all. SSC says it's key for ownership not to pressure Darsh to make the moves just to make the playoffs.
Agreed.
And Elliot Friedman has come out and said that if he makes moves, they're going to be small little moves, nothing that compromises the future. That's what I want to hear.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. 100% fine with that. David Sean McDonald says Schaefer is sounding more and more like an MVP candidate. He's not going to be an MVP candidate. That's going to be Nathan McKinnon. And I don't think he's going to be even in the hunt for Calder. He will win Calder.
He'll win Rookie of the Year.
Norris Trophy. But in a couple of years, he's going to be in top. He's going to be up there every single year. Watch out, Cale McCarr. Watch out, because he's better than you defensively. If the Islanders get some real skill on the front line, watch out. Watch out. Freedom Funder says, remember when Grumpy and TJ wanted Holland and Bergevin? We never wanted Holland. We wanted Bergevin, but not Holland. So incorrect. Holland, no. Bergevin, yes. We still don't know what Darsh is yet. We do not know. He has not had a chance to put his fingerprints on the franchise yet. Just hasn't. Hopefully he pans out. I know if there's a pickleball game around, he'd be really good at that. Brett Wayner says, what's up, fellas? Just got back from the Islanders charity game
Versus the Shoresy cast.
Two-thirds of the identity line played with Grumpy's favorite, Josh Bailey. I bet you Josh Bailey had a couple secondary assists. And Sunek's favorite, DP, played forward and scored.
Look at that. See, he can play multiple positions. He can play goalie and forward.
Mike Bilberry
That's how good he was.
Mike Bilberry said when he drafted him, I really like the way he handles the puck. I don't give a shit if you can handle it. Can you stop it? You're a goalie.
He plays both. He can do both.
Okay. So Road King says to Grumpy, where do you think Henneman will go career-wise, and do you think we'll make the playoffs at all this season? I think
you have a shot.
I think we absolutely have a shot to make the playoffs. And I think career-wise, Henneman, if this team is going to be good, Henneman's a third or fourth liner. That's where I think that's where his skill set is.
Yep.
Because he's a guy, he absolutely gives it 100% out there all the time. He finishes checks. He's got a pretty good shot, but he's not offensively talented at all, honestly. But you need guys like that. You need guys like that. And right now I'm up to 15% to make the playoffs. 15%. Keep winning games, you move up every week. Like I said, I give Pittsburgh a 15% chance of making the playoffs. Philadelphia, 10%, because I hate them so much. I just think you're seeing Toronto and Florida rebound now. You're starting to see that. They're starting to get better. You're going to see, and the Bruins are playing much better than expected. I give them a 15% chance.
Yep. And then the next comment here from Freedom says, not my point at all, Grumpy, about Anna. Not about who wins the game. It's about Anaheim has guys who enjoy injuring others and beating the hell out of other teams. Islanders have no response. New York Islanders lose to physical teams.
I've watched quite a few Anaheim games this year. They're really not that type of team, or they have not been this year in the games that I've watched. They have guys who can play like that, but they've not been like that. That's not the Joel Quenneville style. So they've been. I mean, if you're Anaheim, you have to be pleasantly surprised. Is Anaheim going to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where they're at right now, yeah.
Right now, okay, but again, they're another team that's young. Can they keep? They have 39 points. They lead the Pacific. Okay. Is that going to carry through the whole year? It's a long season. Again, they got a lot of young guys. Do the young guys?
I'm just going to say, just trust me. Remember, I told you the Bruins were going to be really good, and you said no. All right.
Well, if the Bruins make the playoffs, it's tough for the Islanders to make the playoffs.
I'm just saying, I told you the Bruins would make it.
Because Toronto is absolutely rebounded. Florida's rebounded. Tampa Bay, if you got the Bruins in there. I mean, Ottawa's looking pretty good. You got Washington. It'll be tough. If those teams rebound, it's tough for the Islanders to make the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. Because one of those the shitty teams in Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, Pittsburgh's looked really good this year, right? New coach, all of a sudden they look like they're re-energized. Are they good enough to make the playoffs? I mean, their record is just as good as the Islanders. Do you believe in Pittsburgh? I don't know. They're going to have to show it. They've done this before where they played well early in the season and then tailed off at the end. They got older team, right? Who knows? That's all I'm going to say. I think it's going to be a dogfight for the last playoff spot. That's all. Frank from Empire State says, but if we start losing X-Men, then God forbid, then we draft better. That's what I meant by saying we can't lose.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Let's get better picks, hopefully through the lottery. But
yeah. David Sean McDonald says, grumpy old man, if the Avs win the cup, do you take the Avs number 1 pick and a second and try to move into the top 15 pick in round 1? Absolutely. That's what the more assets you have, the more you can move up and down the board. That's what you want to have is flexibility come draft time. Do you want to does somebody drop that, man, we had this kid rated, everyone has this kid rated as, top 5 and he slid to 12. Do you go all in to get a guy like that? I would. They need high-end talent. Chem SSBM says, as someone who doesn't understand hockey super well, it seems the Islanders are cutting angles off to help Sorokin, as well as not huge blunders occurring as often as usual. They have been better this year at forcing shots to the outside, and that's a good question. It's easier for goaltenders if shots are coming from the outside. The ones that give goaltenders problems, the ones right in front of the net, the high danger chances. And the Islanders have been better at that. They have. But there are times when, against the really good teams where Sorokin has to come up huge, and he has. He's been great this year. Sorokin says that either one of you think that Barzal is still a core piece of this team? Yes.
As of now, yeah. I think once the team becomes, a cup contender, though, I think he's probably not, he's going to tail off at that point in time, which I think we're about at least 4 years away from that.
I think his knee is never going to get back to where he was before.
Yeah.
David Sean McDonald says Simon Casper Holmstrom finally scored because Simon got his Garfunkel back. Very good.
There we go.
Simon and Garfunkel. You know who Simon and Garfunkel were, X? Can you
they
name?
Were,
yeah, they were a duo. Can you name one Simon and Garfunkel song?
Man-Eater.
No, that's Hall & Oates.
Oh, it was close.
No, you weren't.
I can't.
How about this?
I'm tone deaf as hell, and nobody can understand what I'm saying.
Bridge Over Troubled Water. You ever heard of that song?
No.
Oh my God, you suck. SSC says the Islanders need to break away from lose way. Yeah, I think they are. Yep. Freedom Front Bench says not re-signing Lee, D'Angelo, Pajot, etc. under any terms. They get dealt. Same as X and TJ. Trade all the declining Jags.
That one made me absolutely die laughing when I read that one.
Tony D'Angelo. If somebody can gives you a second-round pick or a third-round pick for Tony D'Angelo, you absolutely move him.
Yep.
Absolutely. You can parlay a third or a second with 2 seconds to move up in the bottom of the first round. I'd much rather have a boatload of picks and just maneuver around the board. Pick guys that you have ranked higher. That even if you take a couple of flyers on guys. SSC says Richie has a chance to be really good. I have no issue. He is playing limited minutes. I'd just rather him play as a 21-year-old, play in the minors a boatload of minutes. So when he comes up, he can play 15 minutes a night without any drop off. SSC says Patrick Waugh really knows how to coach young players. The Islanders coaches in the past buried young players. Well, they never had any young players. That was the issue. Don't smoke crack. And that's, listen to you boys and girls, don't smoke crack. It's not good for you. Are we more likely to sign a big name free agent now that everyone has seen how great Schaefer is? No. I don't think the Islanders have that appeal yet. They don't have that. Hey, I want to go to the Islanders. I think people still view the Rangers as that in this area. David Shaw McDonald says, really, X? Can't take a freaking water out of the car? You make grumpy old man do it? Come on, man. It's too heavy for you. Is it too heavy for you, buddy?
No, it's not too heavy for me.
Just lazy.
Grumpy, when did you ask me to do this?
You realize that was in the car when you came over for a moochie meal on Sunday, right?
You never told me that was in the car.
Are you trying to say you would have taken it out? Go ahead and lie now to everyone.
Yeah, I would have taken it out. If you asked me to do it, I would have done it.
How many times you filled up the water when I asked you to do it?
You haven't asked me to fill up the water.
How many times have I asked you?
Every single time you asked me to fill that water.
How many times do you steal drinks out of that refrigerator before going home?
Steal anything.
Every single time.
What am I stealing?
You make sure all those little drinks are in the refrigerator. The drinks.
No, I don't fill that one up.
Steven Weasel.
Oh my God.
Next. NS Canada says, don't try to sign a big fish at the trade deadline or free agency.
Didn't cost the future. Yeah, don't cost the future. Yep.
Yeah. I just don't think that the free agency pool is going to be as strong as we'd hoped. And you saw that last year. A lot of guys re-signed. Frank from Empire State says the fact that Lou is gone and we got rid of the facial hair thing, plus with our new culture, we won't have a problems attracting free agents. The Islanders have never signed ever in their history a type flight free agent. Andrew Ladd is the biggest free agent we ever brought in. You're talking about 30 plus years. Freedom Front Red says, I predict Darsh will make his first trade for the deadline early, January, February. Okay, that's fine. SSC says the Islanders are not ready for a big free agent push anyway. True. And as Canada, the Islanders penalty kill is a big change compared to last year. Kind of surprised. Okay. Jeremy Ford says, if Carolina signed Rantanen, does that push them over the top? No. He did not fit what they did. Did not fit what they did. David Shaw McDonald, Carolina needs goalie. Still need a goalie. David Shaw McDonald says, I wouldn't go too sell crazy, though. We're in a very fragile position where one or two wrong moves can destroy what we're trying to build. We really need an elite goal-scoring winger no older than 25. And those guys are hard to get. Yep. They're hard to trade for. Like last year when people were saying, oh, how about bringing in Pettersson from Vancouver? Well, I mean, he wasn't getting along with JT Miller, but I'm not hearing anybody around the league with young guys who say, oh, we were looking to move off these guys. People get guys who produce like that. They don't move them. They just don't.
Agreed.
But we do need a big goal-scoring winger. We do. Jeremy Ford says, disagree about the money. When you have millions of dollars, why do you need more? Store up riches in heaven, not on earth. I'd rather win cups with better players around me. Yeah, but
I love that mindset and that mentality. I absolutely do. And I think more people should have that mindset and mentality. But the unfortunate truth is a majority of the guys who play and are in these positions only care about the money.
And I honestly don't blame them.
Yeah.
Their careers are so short.
Very few players would take less money to try and win more championships. Very few.
Can you name a player, X, in sports who took less money year over year than he could have earned to put it back into the team? Can you name anybody?
No, Grumpy, but I'm sure you can.
People's champion, Tom Brady.
Is he currently an announcer on Fox?
Owns the partial owner of the Oakland Raiders. Yep, that's the guy.
I'm just saying there's not many players who would do that.
No.
I love the mindset, though. I wish more people would have that mindset.
You can't blame them.
I get that. I mean, but these guys do make okay, hockey's different. Hockey's different. They don't make anywhere near the amount of money that football or baseball or basketball makes. Not even close. Not even close. But I mean, so I understand where a guy would go somewhere where he's going to make more money. That makes total sense. But I mean, yeah, like in football or baseball in particular, I mean, those guys just get paid ridiculous amounts.
True. Freedom Fund says, correction, Grumpy. All teams must be cap compliant by time playoffs begin. This team's going to need to pay more if the salary is being retained. You have to be cap compliant all the time during the season. NS Canada says, how much does Schaefer's production increase when the Islanders get more pieces to help him? Exponentially. I mean, he doesn't have to think about it. I think he's got 9 goals and 10 assists or 11 assists. He's scoring more goals and assists as a defenseman. He's setting guys up, but are they putting the puck in the net? No. He'll be more productive from an assist standpoint for certain. The kid's electric. I can't say anything bad about it. Our old friend Dirk Check from Germany says, Grumpy, what do you think about Casper this season so far? Well, I guess he's fallen back to his level as a third liner. Like I told you, Dirk. I was rooting for him to be a second liner, but it didn't work out that way.
And also, Schaefer has 8 goals and 14 assists in 31 games.
Yes. And the final comment of the night is David Shaw McDonald says, J.G. Pajot is Simon's Garfunkel. That was a junk, Grumpy. I got it.
You just TJ'd my joke.
You just TJ'd my joke. I did. I got it.
And last one here from Empire. Hit the thumbs up. Great show. Thanks, Empire.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
I guess we'll wrap it up here, right, X?
Yeah. Anything you want to say before we log off, Grumpy?
I want to say love and laughter. And, when I say that, it's not just something that I just say, even though people say, oh, geez, she says that all the time. I truly mean it. Love and laughter to everyone who watches this show and even those who don't, from Son X and the Grumpy Old Man.
Yep. And I would thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, love the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.